What up, what up, what up? Salute. Where's Dude Sims the Don in the Damu Kiwe Conversations. We got the content. Hit that like button on your way in. Go tell a friend. Hey, listen, we ain't going to start the content. We got the content. You're not going to want to miss this one. Hit that like on your way in, like you take your chucks off at the front door. Active chucks. Edward Bell, salute to y'all homies. Much love and respect to the West Coast from the 318 Sweetport, Louisiana. Free the big OG you. Deuce keep riding these fools. We gonna ride them, man. We reacted to WACK100 confronted on No Jumper podcast by Ant Jefe. Don't care about nothing but what the checks say. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the content. I think y'all should really tap in. Share this with your friend. Y'all ain't gonna want to miss it. CS2 back. Shout out to everybody that's on IG. I'm pinning where you can go watch the content at if you don't want to watch it on YouTube. Might be a better experience. Hey, check me out, though. We on Twitch at Active Chucks. We on YouTube at Active Chuck. Facebook, IG. Let's make sure we run that up and share this content. A Dose of Reality TV. The motherfucking GOAT, nigga. You know what I'm saying? The mother Fam West TV. Hey, look, y'all taking y'all time. I'm going to take my time. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we're going to start just getting to the content. Y'all regulate that chat. Shout out to the Blue Wrench Mob. Always on their job. We're going to go ahead and get to this content one more time. Hold up. Let me get over here. Boom. Shake that. Go get this one. Hit the like. Let me know what's popping. Bam, I think it's this one. Hey, a Dose Reality TV. The bro. Since y'all ain't hitting the likes, I'm finna enjoy myself. I get to the content when y'all hit them likes, man. Get our people up in here, man. Beautiful black ladies, salute. Big Marcus, what up? Salute, Quazoni, what up? Movers and shakers. I talk to dog. Ricky. Salute, Deuce. Go hit the like button for the Damu Kiwe Convos. Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome to WACK100 Reality TV. On this episode, Dead WACK100 exposed himself. Part 2. Man, if you thought the first part was crazy, trust me, this one takes it to a whole nother level. And if you had the same part 1, go check that out. The link is in the description. On part 2, we gonna break it all down. Peace.
Bird Gang, Brim
So
Gang,
sure
what up,
hit
Willie
that
J.
like,
Williams?
comment,
You already
and
must know
subscribe.
what it is.
And let's get into
Steffi Weffy.
Yo, before y'all get to that,
I'm gonna expose something
Don't bring
that
the
I
appointment
never
out.
exposed.
yo, Wack,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm so glad you're my friend because all your options go to jail, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Union is
All your
here.
options, everything don't like you,
Sure.
they going down in the ball of flame,
listen, man. I'm a
man.
legal
Yo,
guy,
Wack's my
man.
friend. I'm telling you.
Go ahead, read it. Read it.
This who we dealing with.
Do you know who WACK100 is? Well,
We know he's not a day one from his section. Go stream that section by Yael featuring Joe Moses and Coyote. That's real.
Alonzo Zoe Scott.
I talked to dog.
Criminal history is minor, but he has been linked to the Bloods.
And we know the real reason why, someone like me is being attacked. It's the positive stuff that I'm doing. And I got one more thing before I go. It's just I gotta say it. How ironic, it's just how odd is it that it's just one guy that everybody's beef with
Mike B
ends up with a RICO are inside of a RICO. This one guy that everybody beef with. Y'all know who he is. Now Hoke has got a RICO.
A hoe. WACK is a hoe.
600 is a hoe.
I was in here defending the nigga. They tell me he can hit with some PTP shit. I'm defending the nigga. They say WACK. At the end of this video, he say everybody that get into it with WACK get caught up in a RICO. What got that to do?
Is it that it's this one guy?
Is it that it's
Nina,
this one
what
guy
up?
That everybody's beef with ends up with a RICO or inside of a RICO.
Everybody knows what pork that is. With your I'm in there defending this nigga. Ah, man.
600 the police. I'm CS2 back.
I mean, he's got a year.
Hold on. We got to mix that in the song.
I'm pretty sure some of them
niggas. Hold on. We need to do that.
I'm in there defending this nigga. Ah, man.
600 the police. I'm CS2 back.
I mean, he's got a year. They put it off. I'm pretty sure some of them niggas they kept in custody. He caught up in some other niggas RICO what it looked like. And, you know, anything they had on them niggas and anything and anybody involved in it, boom. You know what I'm saying? He like the low fish.
He like the low fish.
They definitely gonna get at him though. They gonna get at him. They gonna try to make it. They gonna want to know who approached him. What we did the move for. They gonna get at him. Hey pork butt. And me knowing Hoke is his state of mind right now. Shit. Hey, ain't no time.
Like, comment, and subscribe to A Dose of Reality TV or face the beat down.
He going down the way he went down. He ain't coming back.
Yeah, he said he missed the ticket to trial, so
He said what?
He missed the ticket to trial.
Nah, he better not take that shit to trial.
Yeah, it's different everywhere you go. Georgia's laws is not like New York.
No. See, there you go again. You ain't playing with Georgia's law. You playing with federal law, mandated the same way across the country. Ain't no Georgia law. Ain't no Young Thug. This is federal law. No state, baby. You don't play with
It's not like the Georgia region.
No. No state, baby. You don't play with
It's not like the.
You don't play with
Not like the
Bless, what up?
no Georgia Fed. There's no Georgia Fed. It's just the federal government.
Reggie over pot calls him pork butt.
I told you, dudes, don't be fucking with Veggie. I'm gonna strike your page, nigga. You nigga know. I'ma make a nigga kiss the ring for Veggie right. Veggie always right.
Period. Police we fuck with, so we fuck with police.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer.
I really want to smooth it over because, like I told him when I texted, I'm like, yo, Hope, if I take this shit and start dissecting this shit, it's gonna put a light on it that he don't need. He don't need that light. I know how legal shit go. I see what they trying to do. I understand everything they trying to do to him. I see it. And once I go to doing the shit over there on my side of it, and everybody start pulling up, them people is in this motherfucker recording right now. Don't think they ain't.
And once I go to doing the shit over there on my side of it, and everybody start pulling up, them people is in this motherfucker recording right now. Don't think they ain't.
You gotta remember, I got a group of niggas out here under a RICO, and I'm reading they work. Clubhouse shit, podcast shit is all in the work.
What did you say, nigga? You gotta remember, I got a group of niggas out here under a RICO, and I'm reading they work. Clubhouse shit, podcast shit is all in the work.
I'm I'm in the middle of the story, bitch, so I understand it. All parties, the lieutenant nigga, Adam, no jumper, my attorney, I understand it.
Victory. The Adventures of a CI.
Wheeler County, Texas. Wheeler County, Texas.
Hey, listen, y'all know I got favors. You know what I got? I got favors. I've already helped y'all in many, multiple ways.
We pulled him over for a busted taillight. That's it. A taillight?
I told them to fall back, just like I am in that paperwork. I told them to fall back like CS2 back. See, understand this. I didn't want to touch that dude, and I didn't. As you can see from the video footage, I got the tapes.
Now we in there talking to the feds like we caught him plotting to take over the government.
Did what they wanted to do, and they did to do without me doing anything to do it.
Bro, he asked for the FBI. We didn't even bring it up.
Said he got information. Man can't even spell information.
Now, you can take what you want from that information. The information is given because I gave it to you. Like that. In the video form of having videos of all the criminals' activity.
Just wanted to give him a ticket and go to lunch. Now we might be in a RICO case.
Because I told him to do it, and then I didn't do it because I knew they was going to do it, and I'm going to do it and give it to you.
Next time I'm ignoring taillights, I swear.
Period.
Victory. The Adventures of a CI.
Go like, comment, subscribe. Hey, don't for reality TV. Support this thing.
So I at some point, I'm like, bro, can you kind of
that like
clear
button
that up?
you just came
I don't
in.
want to defend myself because if I have to defend myself, it's gonna open up doors to all kind of shit.
It's gonna open up doors to all kind of shit.
I'm telling you, I don't want to do that. I promise you. I gave the man my word. I wasn't gonna speak his name in no disrespectful manner 6 months ago. We talked. So I don't know what the fuck I got to do with some shit I ain't got nothing to do with. When you make accusations like that, if I start popping it, niggas gonna start pulling up all kind of shit. And they gonna say, see, oh, that says he's this. I don't want to do that. I just really want to have a conversation. And they gonna say, see, oh, that says he's this. Maybe he was emotional. I don't know what the fuck. If he don't know the people, how the fuck I supposed to know the people? I ain't never been to that part of Georgia. I don't know the people. I don't even know what the fuck going on. We all got our situations. I don't even get what the fuck he meant by that. How a certain person that ever ends up with nigga, that's because your certain people was into some shit that ain't got nothing to do. When you find my name in the middle of some shit, or I'm named or suspect or something, then pop that.
No, but we know who CS2 back is, allegedly.
Yeah, and word is, he talked to Dog.
He always get in trouble online, but the info he about to give us, gonna be something.
And like he said, Mark, he tried to set up that three-way call shit. Like, we wasn't gonna trace that mess.
But nigga, just cause a motherfucker over here say something about me and I say something about them that they've been investigating 5 years prior, what the fuck that got to do with me? Pin me to somewhere it says, based upon this for WACK100, that led us to this, and that. Okay, then you got me. But for him to do that, and I text him, and I'm still trying, because if I go on these platforms, it's gonna force shit to come out that he don't need to come out.
And I text him, and I'm still trying, because if I go on these platforms, it's gonna force shit to come out that he don't need to come out.
You're doing a great job, and you kept your word. Everyone we sent you after is either in jail or already sentenced.
If WACK100 give a statement on the nigga, your ass going to jail, bro. They're going to say my word holds some credibility and some weight. They're going to say that. I don't give a fuck. If I ever told on a nigga, his ass going to jail, they're going to say, Beast, I'm a reliable what? Source. That's a reliable source. He's a known this, known that, known this, known that, right?
These are facts. You're a reliable witness. You a source. You get locked up. That's it. That's it.
I talk to dogs.
Featuring The Adventures of a CI.
Oh, Wack don't mess with loose cannon. Nigga. Y'all not understanding that I don't care. I stand alone all the time. When it come down to the Noah Jumper incident, I took the blame for it.
Hit that like button if you just coming in.
But sees
Mike
two back.
Banks, salute.
I mean, Cash Jones, Loose Cannon. Ashley is what we call him. He went live that night and said, you said firmly, nephew, time to make an example.
They got caught, doing it. They try to come up to Wack on some goofy stuff. Wack said, nephew, let's make an example. And that's what we did.
What you mean? I told my crew to back up, like back CS2, or as you would say, mate, CS2 back.
Featuring
Hit that like button, a dose of reality.
The Adventures of a CI.
Like, comment, and subscribe to A Dose of Reality TV.
You all hoes for that. 600 a hoe. Wack is a hoe. Reggie is a hoe. You all hoes for that. You all hoes for that. This the story of a plan at death row since way back. Reggie Wright put his spawn, so you know Wack's a rat. 2006 until sad was the murders act. Who's Wack's brother 2025? Still no get back. So Bobby Jones gets the rental, him and Cash is in the Cadillac. Speeding through real Texas, got cracked with 3 straps. Transfer to be more Texas, on Fed hold this all facts. This is when Wack first told that rat is a hoe for that.
And that's all, folks.
Salute to A Dose of Reality TV, man. Y'all don't even know the team real good right now. McElroy Wack put cheese on his bullets just in case. Free Big U. These fucking rats are out of pocket. All them from Wack to Longtail Rat, Dale the Rat. Spider Oak Draw song is so funny. Best diss R&B track for the summer. Yael is comedy with the voiceover. So talented. He don't need backup. He got bloggers. Yeah, like Bad Luck Cheeseburger Chuck. So look. So CS2 back the win on No Jumper. And the nigga get confronted and addressed by Yung Ant Jefe now. Yung Ant Jefe, that is a maturation of his original position, because me and Yung Ant Jefe was talking about hollering at each other until we got it got funny because I had this anyway. He hollered at me and was telling me people was letting him know we two real niggas, this and this and that. He this and this and that. So I'm like, all right, well, we gonna let that be where it's at. He apologized as a man, bro. Fucking gangster. So I'm gonna respect that as a man. I know that and from a nigga that's from the streets, we be real prideful. So for him to do that says a lot. So from there, he's still acting like he ain't read the work, but he does address the situation because he says that he was getting pushed back. People telling him that he was compromised because he was sitting next to an informant. Hey, listen, man, I can't tell y'all better than he can. I'm going to get to the content. Y'all hit that like button. We finna get this cracking. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to tell the story. We'll take y'all back to that after.
Claims CS2.
Since my nigga, Most Scandalous Los Angeles TV, hashtag ETE in the chat, edified through entertainment, hashtag ETE, expose the exposers, hashtag ETD, expose the debriefers. Hit that like
Listing
button.
your house on the
When this
market.
commercial over, we gonna get to the content. Hit that like button, hit that like button.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Finally, somebody put CS2 back on the spot, down at his place of employment over at No Jumper.
Jay Williams.
The other day, he sat on the panel with Lush One and Ant Jefe. Shout out to Ant Jefe, because he finally did what none of these other podcasters seem to have the guts to do. He asked Porky directly about the whole CS2 back situation. And let me tell you, it's hilarious watching what happens after that. Because Porky does what he always does. Lies, deflects, and spins the conversation in another direction. This man is still out here lying with a straight face, even when the paperwork is public. So after you watch this, do yourself a favor. Go check that paperwork. Get familiar with it. That way, next time Porky tries to spin you with one of his classic stories, you can spin it right back on him. Fumble through a whole new lie. Let's get into it.
But now guess what happens? Soon as something start going on with Ant Hood, and he the one getting the money, you know what the other side say? We got to knock Ant down, he the bag. Guess what that Damu gonna do? Hey, Ant, them niggas running your name, because get low. Up your security. He don't want nothing to happen to Ant. He making money with that.
Yeah,
this how this work. I done been on yards, me and Youngster from 6 Deuce East Coast, ran from 8-9 East Coast. Our relationships come from Scooter from neighborhood 40s. Our relationship.
Nigga, a gangster don't stand on another nigga's gangster, nigga. Trying to ride another nigga's coattail. You did that shit with Big U. Take niggas dick in their hoods up out your mouth. Rat ass, police ass nigga. This nigga just be name dropping like the game. Oh, dick sucking ass nigga. Let's go.
Relationships come from them walking in the unit. Damu's is deep. They bang they set. Niggas say they got us one. I'm like, nah, homie. Nah, he bet y'all gonna give him a one-on-one. Big Fish from 6-0 did it to me my first trip to the penitentiary as a punk. No mustache. Delano. I'm the only guy. He picked me up in Central Juvenile Hall on the Goose. I didn't even know who Fish was. Yeah. Everybody whoop saying where they from. Niggas like, we got us one. I jump up. Big Fish jumped up. Like, this nigga look like he old enough to be my son. He gonna claim, nigga, give my head up. Now, which one of y'all gonna get out with this small youngster and risk going to the yard saying you got knocked out by a teenager? He did that for me. Scooter, rest in peace, from neighborhood 40s. My dumbass homie is in their neighborhood. A broad invited him to the party. He showed up with red house slippers, red belt. He ends up in the alley on his knees like this. They saw the tag. Scooter say, you from 2Ps? Yeah. You know WACK? Yeah. What's his real name? Cash Jones. All right, get up out of here. Tell WACK Scooter send his regards. Yes, right? So where I come from, bro, like, my politics I'm always dealing with something here, there, and everywhere, because that's what's gonna keep you alive or keep you up.
Sure.
So that's why you have the badge. Now it makes sense.
No, but this badge right here is I want to get a bet, man. I just want to get it because y'all can expose WACK. $5,000. We put the badge. I open it up live on No Jumper, and you might be the one to expose WACK.
So let me. So I kind of want to ask a question. It's kind of like off topic, right? Because
I would ask this question because I'll be getting a lot of, which I don't really care, but I would still ask it because I'll be getting a lot of backlash. People in my comments, people coming to my Instagram channel, they be searching far and wide to tell me that I'm compromised. One, because
Hey, Yung Ant Jefe, you know what you signed up for, and you don't have to care. You know what I'm saying? But this nigga's been exposed as a federal confidential source. And everybody keep yelling, Stutterbox exposed him. What Stutterbox did expose him, I talked to dog. That's a fact. But Mark Stevens is the one that exposed him. Mark Stevens is the one that's on that phone. We finna flame CS2 back bitch ass up today. Hit that motherfucking like button.
I'm on no jumper. You know what I'm saying? Sitting across from Adam. And then they be trying to say I'm compromised because I'm sitting next to an informant. I'm sitting next to an informant. So, I mean, because I did an interview with an informant. They be trying to say you an informant.
But okay, well, listen.
We're looking for homeowners who need a new gutter system this fall. Tap below to check your zip. We offer multiple.
Ant just told Porky that he's been catching heat because people are saying he's sitting next to an informant. And yes, he was talking about Porky himself. Now, listen closely to how Porky responds to that. Because instead of clearing the air and shutting it down with facts, Porky, in classical fashion, completely deflects the topic to Rick Ross. This is classic pork loinin right here.
But okay, well, listen. I called Rick Ross. I told Rick Ross, Freeway Ricky, use an informant.
Why is he talking about Freeway Ricky?
He told me to go get the paperwork. For sure. I went and got to work. I sent him to work.
Niggas is on me because you an informant. This nigga starts talking about Freeway Ricky Ross. Nigga, this is nasty work. Look how Lush and what's the other police nigga name? I don't know him, but everybody say he the police. Remo and Lush. Look how they looking directly at this nigga with big eyes. Yeah, they said Remo was the boys. I don't know. Let's go.
I got to work. I put the work up. This is it.
So you wasn't cool with Rick the last
Yeah,
time?
we was.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's crazy. We was doing something on Big Meech on my StreamYard, I think. So after we was running it, this was crazy. Loose Cannon says,
name drop, then Loose
Freeway Rick a snitch too. I say, man, that nigga told on the police. I don't care about that. If you Google right now, Freeway Rick snitch on police, it'll pop up WACK100 defends Freeway Rick on this, right? He said, no, Ohio, New York, club was in Miami. He sends it. So when he sent it, I read it. It's on my YouTube channel right now, right? So that's why it was funny the other day.
When Vlad called.
This is funny the other day when Loose Cannon calls Freeway Rick. Man, I heard what he trying to do to you. You didn't that sent to work. We never even knew about it. So now I had to get with the exposers, tell them go search Ohio, pull the work and send it. And they sent it. I sent it to bro because I seen bro run his clip. Bro was taking the stand that I took. But like the police, we don't care about that. I didn't care about that, right? I don't care about dead bodies. I die and you go to jail. And you can use me to get out of jail. Put it on me. I'm gone. Something to say, you told, that's telling. Told on the dead body. No, I'm going home. I'm gone. They can't charge me, right? So I sent it to him. This ain't the police you telling on. These is drug connects in New York and Ohio and Miami, shit like that. I told him I fuck with Freeway. I said, bro, I didn't dig into it because I didn't really want to. Every now and then I do some bitch ass nigga shit. Every now and then I do some bitch ass nigga shit. Every now and then I do some bitch ass nigga shit. I select the politics. I do. And if you ask me, I'm gonna tell y'all that.
It looks like Porky just threw Love's Boys under the bus. Again. Now remember, Love's Boys has been swearing up and down that they don't selective politic.
And all this selective politicking niggas is doing, that causes division. Division causes weaknesses. Everybody is doing their own thing because niggas selective politicking, bro. Niggas are saying this is cool, saying this ain't cool. That causes division. I'm not bending my rules, nigga. I'm gonna stand on my business.
That's been their whole stance from the jump. We expose everybody. But now Porky just admitted that he does selective politic. He chooses who to expose and who to protect. So while they're out here calling themselves exposers, Porky just revealed that if he likes you, your paperwork doesn't see the light of day. This is exactly why I've been saying.
Oh, yeah. Like he still never ran the 1090 Jake shit. That nigga's supposed to burn that Mountaineer up. 6ix9ine, he cool with that rap. Snow Silly, he cool with that rap. The Minnesota Meatball, he cool with that rap. Blue the Snitchy, he cool with that rap. Stutterbox, I talked to him yesterday. That's what he said. Every time you talk to him, he just talked to Stutterbox. But he telling us Stutterbox to rap. Hey, man, I guess this shit is different. Let's go. Hey, we done exposed the exposer. That shit is dead now. Let's go.
His job is to tear down specific people. People who are building something, who have momentum, who might actually be doing something positive. That's who he targets. And now he said it himself. He's selective. He picks and chooses. And in doing that, he just threw Love's Boy's whole narrative in the trash right under the bus. Don't forget, this was Porky's response to Ant, telling him that people are saying he's sitting next to an informant, referring to Porky himself. Porky has not addressed that at all. Instead, he shifted the conversation.
You know, if I fuck with you, I'll fuck with you. You know,
I did some bitch ass nigga.
You know, it's some real shit.
So who the fuck put this? So my question is.
So Porky tried to duck the question. But Ant wasn't letting him slide. He didn't let Porky weasel his way out. Porky was clearly trying to run, trying to change the subject, deflect, do what he always does. But Ant brought him right back to the beginning.
Who put this, like, the shit they keep attacking me about?
You are, it's the main streets. It's the main streets. It's the main streets.
So now Porky's basically letting it be known. He knew exactly what Ant was talking about the whole time. This is CS2Back's kryptonite right here. He never wants to touch this topic. He hates it. But this moment right here proves he knew what the question was about. The whole time. And instead of answering it, what did he do? Deflects to Rick Ross.
The CS2Back shit.
Now listen, if you read have you read the work? Have you read the work? Have you read the work? The work said, whoever this dude is, he's a low-level drug dealer, and he's in fear that his family members in the main streets will be hurt. Okay, for the record.
Porky's been speaking for about 30 seconds. And in that 30 seconds, he's lied twice about both of the things he just said, the paperwork said. Lie number 1. He said the paperwork claims CS2Back was a low-level drug dealer. False. Lie number 2. He said the paperwork claims CS2. Back was afraid for his family's life in the main streets. Also false. The paperwork never says a word about CS2Back being any kind of drug dealer whatsoever. That's a complete lie. The paperwork also never says a word about CS2Back's family living in the main streets. I wasn't gonna do it, but let's read it together. I want to make sure you guys see how much of a liar Porky is. After we read this, ask yourself, why is Porky lying about what the paperwork says about CS2Back? CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning the MSMC organization. However, CS2 is only aware of certain aspects regarding the organization's criminal activities and narcotic distribution network. CS2 has no knowledge or information regarding the methods in which narcotics are being transported to the Los Angeles area and distributed to MSMC gang members. Additionally, CS2 is unable to provide information regarding the narcotic customers, flow of narcotics, proceeds, and methods that they are using to laundering their narcotic proceeds. CS2 is only able to identify a limited number of MSMC gang members. CS2 is unable to provide specific information regarding the organization's extortion activities, methods of monetary collections, and distribution of proceeds. CS2 is also unable to provide any information regarding the MSMC association with other leader of the other large gang organizations. CS2 is able to provide limited information regarding violent assaults committed by the MSMC, including shootings, burglaries, and murders.
This is what
CS2 is unwilling to testify in court against members of MSMC because CS2 is fearful of retaliation against CS2 and/or CS2's family. CS2 believes that if any member of the MSMC criminal organization becomes aware of CS2's cooperation with law enforcement, the organization will likely orchestrate the execution of CS2.
Now, we're going to pause this real quick because WACK is saying, when he said it's the main streets. So he knew what Ant was talking about the whole time, CS2, all of this shit, right? Now, y'all got to remember CS2 back. Ben said that he saved the main streets. He said he saved Shaq and the main streets, right? This ain't what I said. This is what he said, right? Where's that video at? I should have it. I might have messed it up. Let's go here. Boom. He says he has it's the main streets because what he wants to do is deflect and say because he's a blood, make people believe he had nothing to do with this investigation. But see, there were 7 people, including Del Dog, 7 people arrested and locked up behind this and under this investigation. But the people who they were alleging orchestrated it were never locked up. Those people are Shaquille O'Neal and Money Mark Stevens, who is alleged or orchestrated or called the shot to get Robert Ross DP and taught a little lesson. We'll get to all of that. But let me get to this real quick because they say the paperwork is fake. This is Courthouse News Service, right? July 20th, 2011. So Deuce Sims ain't made this up. This is from the Courthouse News. An article by Matt Reynolds, whoever that may be. Los Angeles CN, a record producer, claimed gangsters acting on Shaquille O'Neal's orders abducted and beat him to retrieve a sex tape of the former basketball having sex with a female, not his wife, right? This is, they said, a record producer, right? So that's Stutterbox claiming that gangsters acting on behalf of Shaq abducted and beat him to retrieve the sex tape of Shaq having sex with a female, not his wife. In his superior court complaint, plaintiff Robert Ross acknowledges that he had suffered prior felony convictions before his relationship with O'Neal and says he had been associated with the Crips gang, although he has not been a member for approximately 12 years. Ross claims that in addition to having Crips kidnap and assault him, O'Neal also ordered him to kill a member of the Dogtown Gangster Crips who had disrespected O'Neal in front of his wife, Shani, to kill a woman who O'Neal had impregnated and paid for her abortion, to kill a renowned record producer, and gave Ross an order to break an NBA player's shooting arm. This is what Stutterbox was alleging. According to the lurid 12-page complaint, after defendant O'Neal had filed for divorce and was separated from his wife, Shani, plaintiff began an affair with Shani. When defendant O'Neal learned of this relationship between plaintiff and Shani, Defendant O'Neal became extremely jealous and angry toward plaintiff, parentheses, in the complaint. Ross claims that on February 11, 2008, because of the fear that the sex video might become public and because of defendant O'Neal's raging jealousy towards plaintiff, defendants O'Neal and Mark Stevens directed and employed members of the street gang to kidnap, attack, rob, and threaten plaintiff. So, directed and employed members. So, the 7 Main Streets that were arrested are alleged to have been employed and directed by Mark Stevens and defendant Shaquille O'Neal. Now, investigation begins. They go talk to the sheriffs and the joint task force, talk to Stutterbox, they talk to WACK100, they talk to all of the Main Street dudes, they talk to they interview Ray J, they interview DJ K-Slay, they interview Shaquille O'Neal, they interview Money Mark Stevens during the investigation. Money Mark Stevens is not a Crip from Main Street. Shaq is not a Crip from Main Street. Ray J is not a Crip from Main Street. CS2 Back. Cash Jones is not a Crip from Main Street. So he wants people to not even be able to conceive that anybody other than a Main Street Crip could be CS2 Back. So Ross claims that non-party Liddell, Dog, Ross, and other Crips abducted him on Sunset Boulevard and took him to Dog's home in South Central Los Angeles on February 11, 2008. Ross claims he was threatened at gunpoint and told that O'Neal and Stevens wanted him to return the sex tape. When he agreed to hand over the tape, Ross says he was let go. During the kidnapping and robbery, Stevens communicated by phone with one of the members from the street gang and emphasized that O'Neal needed to obtain the sex tape from plaintiff. The complaint states, unbeknownst to Stevens, the conversation was tape recorded pursuant to an FBI wiretap on the cell phone of the member of the street gang. So Mark Stevens, his own wiretap, talking about this nigga Box got to get lined up. They need to get the sex tape. Did y'all just hear that? Money Mark Stevens was caught on tape, on wiretap, telling Dale Dog, FBI wiretap, telling Dale Dog that that Shaq needs to get the sex tape from Stutterbox. Ross claims that the Crips also stole jewelry, a Rolex watch and $15,000 from him. In an interview with Courthouse News, Ross's attorney, Mark Overland, said Ross is fearing for his life. This lawsuit is an insurance policy because it shows he's willing to put out in the open names, of the people who he believes are responsible for putting him in danger. Overland said. The LA Times reported in June that O'Neal had been questioned by LA Sheriff's deputies about Ross's alleged abduction. Neither O'Neal nor Stevens have been charged. So Shaq and Mark Stevens were not charged. But the sheriffs did question them about the thing. So the paperwork, the interview that's on Active Chucks, matter of fact, we finna go over it, and then I'm going to repost it in case people want to get it. Shaquille O'Neal, that's not fake. Remember, Wack said he came back with 14 more pages. Well, in that 14 pages, you have those interviews, Ray J's, Shaquille O'Neal's. We released that. Ben released that. But this is Courthouse News Service validating and verifying that they were questioned by the LA sheriffs. You want to know what sheriffs that was? Detective Michael Coet and Paul Fournier and the Joint Task Force in his complaint. So if all of you guys talk to the Mainstreets and all these people talk to the sheriffs and the task force, where WACK100 statement at? If we got everybody else statement, where the fuck that nigga paperwork at? Blood need to bring the work to the yard or roll this shit up. Hey, CS2 back. You need to go bring your paperwork to the yard. It's a paperwork party, nigga. Bring your work to the yard or roll your shit up in a little burrito and go to that old police center. Go to the CO center, nigga. Tell them you can't live here no more. Because if not, we going to put this knife up in you, nigga. We going to push that knife. Hey, roll your shit up, nigga, in a little burrito. This nigga got to bring his work. But look, since you want to issue out $5,000 challenges, nigga, make it a dub, nigga. $20,000 for you to bring your statement to the Joint Task Force, to Detective Coet and Paul Fournier. $20,000 that you can't bring that and not be the rat, not be CS2 back. See, and I'm not talking about the first time you went to go talk to the Joint Task Force. See, a lot of people don't know CS2 back went and talked to the feds multiple times about this. Let me finish this paperwork, and then I'm going to play the audio. We got proof. WACK100 admits he went to the FBI headquarters on Wilshire, off Sepulveda. So that means you met with the Task Force 1. Then we got Greg Caden admitting that he met you and your lawyer at your lawyer's office. So that means y'all met up twice. You say the Mainstreets, you plugged them with Greg Caden, right? So they had been questioned by the sheriff deputies about Ross's alleged abduction. Neither Mark Stevens or Shaq was charged. In his complaint, Ross claims he was once O'Neal's close personal friend and confidant. Ross seeks punitive damages for false imprisonment, kidnapping, assault and battery, robbery, conversion of personal property, and intention infliction of emotional distress. Ross also claims that O'Neal breached the contract by failing to pay him his share of profits after he signed the singer Ray J to O'Neal's record label Deja. And that was 100% fact. Stutterbox. Robert Ross is not lying. He is the one that signed and brought Ray J to the deal. Brought Wack into the deal because they need to talk to Suge. So they tell him to set up the meeting with Mark Stevens and Suge. Mark Stevens talked about that, right? And they did breach the contract and didn't pay him his royalties. He wanted royalties of it. You know what I'm saying? So that shows that shit was true. Now we're going to go about these two meetings. See, you ain't supposed to be meeting and talking with the feds in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, since when did these gangsters let me see. I think we got that with Greg Caden. Let me show y'all that real quick. Because it's nasty work when the same detective you brought to try to save you admit that you not only talked to him at the FBI headquarters, but that you met with him twice. Why is you steadily meeting with the Fed? You had a whole lot to say, my nigga, and you not the informant? Get the fuck out of here. Blood got to bring his work.
He trying to reach out to the nigga behind my back.
Shutterbox is the one that got caught up in that case with O'Neal.
He trying to reach out to the nigga behind my back to give the nigga my address, because we used to stay across the street from each other, like catacomb.
Was an informant in there named TS2 Back. They've been saying whatever's whack.
If I know what I knew now, I would have jumped over their car, cuz, ran across the lawn, kicked his whack door, and killed cuz on Main Street, on my feet.
He was not a part of the case, but he was definitely a part of the case.
Right, you know I'm gonna drown your ass on Main Street. I'm gonna drown your ass first chance I get.
You know what the play was? Them going in there asking Stutterbox, is he a government informant? And Stutterbox lying on stand and saying no. And that just blow up the case. That's what he said he put together.
Are you an informant? No. You ever been an informant? No. You just lied on the oath. My man is still free. I freed 7 Crips that day.
But you know Greg Caden, right? The one that used to investigating Big and Tupac. He came out and said, that's a goddamn how I can't have nothing to do with that.
Absolute bullshit, except for the fact that we met him at his lawyer's office. So he's just taking all of these pieces of information and putting them together like
we met him where?
It's all.
No, you just lied on the oath. My man is still free. I freed 7 Crips that day.
But you know Greg Caden, right? The one that used to investigating Big and Tupac. He came out and said, that's a goddamn how I can't have nothing to do with that.
Absolute bullshit, except for the fact that we met him at his lawyer's office. So he's just taking all of these pieces of information and putting them together like he was the puppet master. It's all absolute bullshit.
Shutterbox is the one that got caught up in that case with O'Neal.
Let's go ahead and cut that one off, y'all get it. So now we got facts that he met up with WACK100 at WACK100's attorney's office. This is what we have proof of. So now we gonna take y'all back. How far back? Back to when CS2 Back brought Greg Caden onto Clubhouse. And he admit he went to the 64th floor, right? That same dude, T100, big WACK100 dick puller, professional, right? He was the one that WACK was trying to send to my room, and he was the back door. You know, WACK always send people to try to run his narratives to my room, right? On Clubhouse. Spies, all kind of shit, y'all. If y'all was there, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? That nigga had spies on me 24/7 every time I go on Clubhouse. But let's get to this.
Reggie Wright, top right. Reggie Wright contacted Greg Caden.
That like button. Let's go.
Greg Caden was the lead investigator. I'm probably saying this shit wrong. He'll tell you more. On that case, to where well, fuck it, Greg. Tell them who you are.
That's funny. So yeah, I was a cop in LA. I ended up working on Tupac and Biggie's murder investigations back in the 2000s, and then I left and wrote a book about it called Murder Rap.
Yeah, he knew.
So yeah, I had an opportunity to kind of like dive deep into all of the different, theories and accusations and, ideas behind what had happened with both Pac and Big. And that's it.
All right. So, Greg, Reggie sent you a document.
Muddy Water, salute.
And I'm looking at that and looking at the names. MS, I'm identifying that as Mark Stevens. DD, I know is Dale Dog. And they got a name on there called BACK, BACK, and it has some shit
Let me pull this shit up so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Back, and it has some shit says CS2. Now, can you tell the people what my position of in this case? How did Cash Jones, WACK100, how did I get involved or implemented in this case with the guy with the other box?
Okay. So it all started when there was an FBI agent who told us that he had an informant that could potentially give us some information about Suge Knight that may help us further our investigation into the murders of Tupac and Biggie. That's where it all started.
Lights up.
And so we went and met with this informant,
FBI 100,
and it turned out to be Box. And we sat down. It's like on Melrose or Santa Monica, and he pulled up in his Bentley, and we sat down at a Starbucks and started chopping up, and he gave us this information that led to you. And so we didn't know what was real.
What the hell was the information that led to me?
Well, the information was that if we looked into you, we might find some things out that would help us maybe get some leverage on Suge.
Hey, Lou, I'm going to need that five. I
It
got
was just like that. So we're like, all right, we didn't know any better. We're like, well, FBI says this guy, is worth listening to. So
the guy we talking about that's worth listening to is Stutterbox.
Right.
So, Greg, before you go any further, how long does a motherfucker got to be working with the FBI before they're calling a guy like you that's investigating the case as serious as you have to say he's a reliable source?
Well, Greg, explain to him the different level of informants you have, and that answers the question better.
So there's a CI, which is a confidential informant. There's a CRI, which is a confidential, reliable informant. There's a witness. There's different levels of informants and sources of information. And so as cops, we're just going to listen to everybody. And in time, you prove whether or not they're reliable or not. But you don't just disregard somebody because you haven't proven their reliability. So, I don't know what Box had going on, the whole Mainstreet thing and all his drama and background going on with that case.
I didn't know what Box had going on.
So, I don't know what Box had going on, the whole Mainstreet thing and all.
So Greg Caden is not the lead investigator of the Mainstreet case. He just told y'all that. He is not he didn't even know what was going on with Box in the Mainstreet case. He got involved in that investigation later. Listen.
All his drama and background going on with that case. I became involved in it later, but at that point in time, they're just saying, hey, you should talk to this guy. He may be able to give you some information that will help with your case. That's it.
Hey, Greg, so could you tell them what level they told you that he was? Was he reliable? Was he a CI? Had he worked in the past for them? Or what, if you could tell just a different level that that they represented to you that he was?
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, I don't remember exactly what the language was or what qualifications were. It was just like, hey, we have this guy, says he can help you guys out. We're working with him on something else, and so give him the time to hear him out, and that's it. I don't remember if they said he was established as a reliable.
You portrayed him as a reliable, meaning that he gave reliable information in the past in the movie. Just FYI.
Yeah, well, it's a movie, so people do what they're going to do to make these stories more entertaining. I'm just telling you that what actually happened.
It was your movie.
Box, hold on, Reggie. When you got with Box tells you that it's this guy that if you look into him, Mike could give you or lead you to him doing some illegal business with Suge Knight. That was his whole thing.
Yes.
And that guy was me.
You're right.
Let's hit that like
where
button.
did it go
Just
from
coming
there?
in, get up out them.
So we said, all right, we'll give this information the benefit of the doubt. And we began to kind of look at you and figure, okay, well, the claim is that they're doing interstate transportation of narcotics. So we do what we do in order to determine if there's any truth to that. And so we start investigating you. And as you know, it runs its course. We don't find anything incriminating or anything to validate the claims that Box had made. And then,
what steps did you take, Greg? Like the things happened to me was my home. Like y'all really fucking looked into me.
Yeah, we did. We looked into you. We wiretapped you and started to track your truck and do everything we could to verify whether or not the information that we were receiving was valid. And ultimately it turned out not to be. We did a search warrant at your house and came up pretty much empty-handed, with the exception of some worn-out old gun that I think belonged to your wife's dad or some shit like that. And
now WACK just went on No Jumper and told them that, and we're gonna get back to it. WACK went on No Jumper and told them that the gun was in his wife's name. Here, Greg Caden on here lying, and they saying it was one gun, period. Pay attention, y'all.
But that was it. It was a ultimately a fucking waste of time.
All right, so then I then came down to.
Hold on, we're gonna get into that. Scandalous gonna eat them up, but we got a super chat. $5 super chat from Ice Man Vamp. So to prove he ain't the police, he gets 2 police on the phone to vouch for him. Where they do that at? Hey, listen, who raised these niggas? This shit is weird in 2025. Niggas getting caught with badges in their wallets. This shit breaks.
I believe that's the federal headquarters
right
on
there.
Fucking Wilshire. I think in my representation at the time.
Listen.
Down to
ultimately a fucking waste of time.
All right, so then I then came down to, I believe that's the federal headquarters on fucking Wilshire. I think in my representation at the time might have been Jeff Brody.
So now he says he goes to federal headquarters to meet with them with Jeff Brody, his lawyer. But Greg Caden said they went to go visit CS2 back and his lawyer and met them at WACK100's lawyer's office. Y'all niggas ain't even catching the lies, nigga. These niggas that met twice. They wanted to investigate this nigga on a Sunday when FBI headquarters is closed. It's so crazy that you bring 2 cops to say you're not a rat. I get, hey, Ant Jefe, that they can vouch for you. Let me find out. Hey, I can understand Adam 22 feigning ignorance and playing dumb, but Young Ant Jefe, I could bring the police to say that I'm not working with them police. That's cool. But your political, I just want to know how they politicking in 2025, man. Because I don't know. That shit look real weird to me. That ain't bull, my nigga. WACK snitched on Big U for logging into his own Wi-Fi. Crooked Reggie Wright Jr. living off his father's good name. That nigga father name wasn't good. But look, so now we know that he met with the feds twice, right? We ain't got no poll, man. Hold on, my bad. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, we gonna get a poll started, man. Y'all got to get active in the chat. Blue Rinse Mob, let's get on it, bro, because these likes is looking real funny for a nigga to be doing all this content. The content is content. So, why WACK meet with Fed Task Force twice. Oh yeah, I want to hear what y'all vote on this one. Why WACK meet with? Because he CS2 back. Boom. To tell on Tanisha Swan and should to tell on Tanisha Swan and should giving up his not giving up, providing historical evidence on Mainstreet Crips. Oh, they ain't gonna let me do it like that. I'm gonna take the G off the providing so that I can get that whole thing in there. Providing historical evidence on the Mainstreet Crips. All of the above. All right, so we got a new poll. Boom. So let's get back to the scandalous video, man. Hey, this nigga met twice. Why did he go meet the feds twice, nigga? We need that work, nigga. $100,000. You talk that big money shit, right? Let's get back to the content. Scandalous, I ain't forgot you, my nigga. Let me work. Fuck the union. Let's go.
Hey there, landowners.
Damu
Are you tired?
Conversations. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button if you already haven't.
Why is Porky lying about
Bring it back a little.
Becomes aware of CS2's cooperation with law enforcement. The organization will likely orchestrate the execution of CS2. So again, ask yourselves, why is Porky lying about CS2's role in all this? You just saw the paperwork. It never said a word about CS2 selling drugs. So why does Porky keep pushing that false narrative? The document clearly says nothing about CS2's family being in the main streets either. It says CS2 doesn't want to testify because he believes the main streets will organize his execution if they find out he's cooperating. That's his fear. And don't forget, CS2 back lives directly across the street from Stutterbox, who is a known Mainstreet Mafia Crip. So while CS2 back keeps lying, understand he's doing it for a reason. He's doing it because he knows this is about him.
Good point. Way to catch that. 421 TV says Greg just confirmed Mark Stevens' story about the initiating wiretap. Man, just confirmed it. Nasty work. Let's go.
Now that you've seen what the paperwork really says, the next time he shows up trying to spin it, don't let him slide. You've seen the truth with your own eyes.
I've stepped foot in a lot of hoods, even your hood. Yeah. Right? I have never been on the ground with my feet in the main streets. I've driven through, right? But I've never been, I know a bunch of them.
That is what a cop would say.
When I go to the east side, I already flashed the back. I came in and put everybody on the wall. You're too late. Now, we taking a $5,000 bet.
Porky keeps running his mouth about that $5,000 bet. Next time you see him, flip it on him. Tell him this. I've got a $100,000 bet that you can't show anywhere in that paperwork where it says CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer, or any kind of drug dealer, period. Let's see if he takes that bet. Spoiler, he won't, because it's not in there, and he knows it.
About the badge, whoever sends the money in, Adam's going to guarantee the money because he can take it from me, and I'm going to show the badge wide open on No Jumper. If you think it's a cop badge, send it in, get you some clout.
Notice the way Porky took the conversation away from CS2 back and he's back to talking about that badge again. Pay attention to how comfortable he is when he brings up the badge, and how uncomfortable he gets when it's time to talk about being CS2 back. That shift tells you everything.
Hey, so Ant, I've been having this bad for 7 years. So
I was thinking we were about to talk about this on the podcast, and so you're I didn't.
We haven't. You can part of it.
I've been spoke about it. So basically, you know, I went back and forth with a few dudes that supposed to be street dudes, and some dudes is unknown. So basically, they got mad at me because I sat down with WACK.
Well, here goes the thing, man. Did they get mad at you because you sat down with me? Or they get mad at you because Adam giving you an opportunity is gonna boost you and
this before Adam gave
and sitting down with WACK.
Before Adam gave
and sitting down with WACK.
As you can see, Ant's gearing up to bring it up again. And Porky wants no part of that. You're literally watching Porky cut him off mid-sentence. Then he tries to spin it. Nah, Ant. They're just mad because Adam gave you a shot. But Ant shuts that down quick. No. I sat down with you before I sat down with Adam. At that point, WACK's trying to get out of there. But Ant's not letting him off the hook. You saw that, right?
Basically, you know, I went back and forth with a few dudes that supposed to be street dudes, and some dudes is unknown. So basically, they got mad at me because I sat down with WACK.
Well, here goes the thing, did they get mad at you because you sat down with me? Or they get mad at you because Adam giving you an opportunity is gonna boost you and
before Adam gave
and sitting down with WACK. Believe it or not, sitting down, WACK got to follow him like Ant got to follow. It's a percentage of my people that already follow you. But follow me. Then it's a percentage that didn't know about you, and because we did that, now they know about you. But I challenge everybody. Listen. Listen. $100,000. $100,000. My name is Cash McElroy Jones. I only even have one gang name. WACK100 is not a gang name. It's an entertainer's name created in 2010. I got on parole in 0203. That don't count. Nigga, all you got to do is go use Dale Dog's name, Liddell Rawls, pull the paperwork up, and go through it.
E40 does call the cops the Elroys as well, oddly enough.
That's all you gotta do.
So that's what it's about. So like I'll be telling motherfuckers, because I dealt with the confidential informant shit before, like my cases, it was a lot of them. So I tell people, all right, let's just say hypothetically he is CS2 back, this motherfucker that y'all want to paint him out to be. I would never know because I wasn't the one compromised. I'm not the police.
But bro, and here's the thing. It says he's a low-level drug dealer who was in fear that his family in the main streets will be hurt.
You all saw how Porky twisted the whole meaning, just by adding the words, in the main streets. That's not what the paperwork says. We already went over it. He added that himself. And now he's yelling, $100,000. You heard him. But notice, he never actually says what the bet is. He just throws the number out there, like it means something. He said, go pull up the work. So we did. Now what's the challenge? You just watched him lie, again, right in front of everybody.
What's up, affiliate marketers? How you doing? Michael Bashy here now.
Let's go.
Two back supposed to be.
That's what it say. I'm not from Main Street. I don't got no family live in Main Street. That's an all Main Street case. Stutterbox will tell you. He just called me yesterday. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna tell you why I look at the streets of LA funny.
I bet Travis Ford knows who
no,
it is.
On Power Room, why I look at it funny.
Yeah.
They watched Stutterbox pull up in a Rolls Royce to the court building for 9 months. Get out by himself, walk in there, courtroom full of Crips and Muslims, take the stand and get out. Ain't nobody do or say nothing. 9 months. I know because he used to call me after he left. Niggas ain't gonna do nothing, they know.
Porky said Stutterbox told on him too, but then turns around and says Stutterbox called him on the phone and told him, niggas ain't gonna do nothing. Well, you didn't do nothing either. So what exactly are you talking about?
Wait, hey, look.
At the courtroom, that shit kind of sick, though. This shit get tricky to do something.
Hey, look, no, but look, see, look,
no, it ain't.
Look, no, so this.
How many niggas done got took off in the?
This another point I be wanting to make, and that's what I be talking about when you be talking about you a gangster and you thugging and you got smoke with motherfuckers. You supposed to have this attitude that you don't give a fuck. So all the time, right, this what people gonna say.
Yeah.
So I tell niggas all
supposed to. Nigga don't supposed to have a I don't give a fuck attitude just because a nigga stand on business. Nigga know what he signed up for. Nigga be like, man, shit, I give a fuck, but nigga, I signed up for this, nigga. This the business. This is suit business, nigga. This gotta be handled. What you mean? You think something that gotta be handled is crashing out? Crashing out is when you're doing shit because you ain't got to do just stupid shit that'll put you in jail. Nigga disrespect you, nigga pop at you, nigga knock down you, whatever else is the reason that you decide to stand on 10 toes, nigga. It's not crashing out. That's standing on what you gonna stand on, bro. That's not a crash out. Let's get to it. And on top of that, every nigga I know that take them field trips regularly, nigga, always thinking how they gonna get away, nigga. What you mean he ain't supposed to give a fuck? Maybe you never been in that mind state. I don't know. But yeah, my niggas ain't trying to get caught. In fact, they believe they the best and can get away with it. Let's go. Every time.
the time, like, all right, you want me to have problem with somebody that you really don't got smoke with. At the least, you might see them and go back and forth and somebody get between y'all.
They not
y'all
even
y'all might not even fight. Let me just give y'all might fight.
Yeah.
Y'all not trying to shoot each other, unalive each other, but you want me to have some type of beef. You know what I'm saying? And dudes be out here faking, bro. Like, dudes be out here faking, bro.
But they be embarrassing each other at the court tanks now and like making
nigga
took off on in court.
So if a dude see a snitch right now, then you'd be like, oh, bro, you said dude was a dude, you on this, why you didn't get on him? Oh, man, shit, what you mean? He probably had the police following him, the police watching him. He the police. That's what it's always gonna be. Somebody always.
Hey, I don't know what type of niggas you been hanging with, Ant, but I'm just saying, for the last several years, niggas have been getting back door. See, maybe you just green to the underworld. Maybe you ain't as in with the in crowd as you claim to be. Or maybe you just ain't got your ear to the street like you claim to be. Maybe you just focus on what the checks say. But whatever, niggas done got boo-bop, ran, chased up out the hood. Niggas done got shot, all kind of shit, nigga. Nigga, it be selective politics, it be all kind of shit. But nigga, you just gonna tell what niggas is gonna do supposed to be street niggas. You got your idea of a street nigga ain't the same idea of a street nigga I know. I'm just saying.
Was gonna find an alternative to why they didn't do something, bro. Or niggas want me to crash out, but that's how you talking, like a crash out.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, right? You was at Wayside with all them niggas.
Yeah, for sure.
Trust and believe.
Oh, you trying to get
and WACK the power rule would have been involved in their case. You would have known then. This a fact.
He's trying to get Ant Jefe to validate because he was in the county with some of the Crips that went to jail for it. But those dudes were just the ones that handled the biz. They were allegedly given the orders. Nigga, it's more than just those niggas allegedly. Shaquille O'Neal allegedly. Mark Stevens allegedly. Ray Gibb allegedly. DJ K Slay allegedly. CS2 back, nigga. He's trying to utilize the fact that he was in there with some niggas on the low end of the pyramid because he know that these niggas at the top of the pyramid are the ones that know what's going on. Why else would he say, ask Mark? Mark knows. He's the one that set up the three-way. Are we gonna get into that too? Let's go.
I was never victimized because Stutterbox told them that I was transporting drugs in my diesels for Suge Knight.
No. Let's get it straight. Stutterbox told them you had guns in your house. And when the police raided your place, guess what? You did have guns in your house. At the same time, they were raiding your spot. They were pulling over your truck. So they raid the house, find the guns, and right after that, somehow, you end up giving them the exact information they needed to go pick up Teresa Swan. Funny how that works, huh?
Here's what a whole home water filtration system costs, including installation.
We got a question.
Book murder rap?
Oh, he always talk about his favorite thing is the book. He don't like the movie no more. Shortstop in the Field podcast say, ask Ant what happened in Seattle with 600. Why you don't talk about that story? Salute. Hashtag the union. Well, hashtag fuck the union. Second of all, that's a good question. Hey, Ant, you got that work? I think that'll be a good session. Make sure you share the link. I'm going to share. We all want to see you break down the work. Let's go. He said it was a lot of informants on this case.
My Greg Cadence, go to the chapter started by. You see my pictures, Suge pictures.
No,
and they did a full 9 months tracking devices on all my.
Go, this nigga talk about Greg Caden, the book. No, nigga, bring your work. You try to use Ant Jefe being in the county with these Crips at the bottom of the pyramid. You try to use Greg Caden and Reggie Wright Jr. to validate you wasn't CS2 back. And now you trying to use Greg Caden book to validate you ain't CS2 back. Y'all want to know something? You niggas be so slow and don't understand we controlled the narrative. He's on defense, nigga. He's still getting boo-bop from punches I threw a year ago, 2 years ago, nigga, 3 years ago. Nigga, CS2 back is the jacket he got to wear for the rest of his motherfucking life. Let's go.
My diesels, following the diesels, the whole shot. Raided the crib. People say
the trucking operation was a front for trafficking is the implication they were making.
We got to hear about the trucking
stuff.
I
had $300,000.
Damn, they fucking niggas over. Baby Diggs said that's his excuse, Deuce, for sitting down with an informant. He okay sitting next to a dude with a badge on paperwork. Hey, listen. He's saying he didn't see the paperwork, but with the badge, that's a good point. But even more than that, right? The fact that a nigga is cool with sitting, if you don't see nothing wrong with sitting down with an informant, sitting down with a nigga with a badge that everybody's saying is an informant, I guess you really is have faith. Only care what the check say. It's nasty work. Of course, people that come from our community, from our culture, that watch their homies stand on business, get write-ups. Hey, tomorrow we got an interview, because the essays be on the internet trying to press this line. I showed one of my write-ups, smashing a rat up in USP Florence, Colorado. I think last week I ran that room and went into that write-up, right? So the essays talk about blacks don't check paperwork. So how did I know this nigga was a rat? So we got the homie from PDL Wolf interview coming up after the holiday, right? We go sit down. He just got out, right? Let's go right here. If a nigga don't have a problem with a snitch, it's because he commiserated and understand that this is a necessary or this is a norm. And he's cool with that. He doesn't see a problem with that. So that's where the blowback comes back from, Jefe, because even though you haven't been fully educated on the paperwork, and he, to his credit, this is something that I didn't tell y'all. Me and Ant Jefe supposed to be and did a live. And what we gonna do, he said he offered to go over the paperwork with me and he'll air them out. Hey, Jefe, tell WACK we got $20,000. He needs to bring that paperwork. You nigga, you was up in, I think, in the feds, I think in Atwater. I forgot where they said he was at. Victorville somewhere. You know how it go. Tell that nigga, since he admit he went and talked to them feds, since he admit that, and Greg Caden admit that the feds went and interviewed him at his lawyer's office, we need the audio from both of those meetings and or the investigative report or the 302. How about that? Because you know, like I know, your lawyer up in there, the feds asking questions, they got to take notes. They got to document it. They got to make a record of it. So, fuck Greg Caden book. Fuck Reggie Wright Jr. Fuck bringing Greg Caden to Clubhouse. Fuck that Ant Jefe was in the county with some niggas on the bottom of the pyramid. Ant Jefe, let's do that live any day next week you want to do, nigga. Priority. $20,000 bet. Tell that nigga bring that 302 from both meetings and or the audio for 20 bands. And if he can't do that and you still cool with that, then we already know what's up. Let's get back to the content.
Contracts on each truck with BMW, Porsche, Volkswagen, Audi.
Yeah.
When they come in, we took them to the dealers, right?
Germany.
I still got my rig sitting up at the yard right now today, immaculate. Get in whenever I want, right? So they did all that. It's in the book. They raided the crib, right? So when they raided the crib, they find my baby mama's pistol, right? Then here comes the thing. Well, you an ex-con, what you doing around a pistol? I own 5 houses in that area, another 8 in Atlanta, and 4, I had 4 you.
Did y'all just catch what this nigga said? He said, and then they found my baby mama's pistol. Then here it comes. But you an ex-felon with a con. Of course, here it come, nigga. You in California, which besides New York has some of the harshest gun laws in the United States of America. Nigga, you in California, an ex-felon. Nigga, the feds are on you saying they wanted to get leverage on Suge Knight. If they crack you, they could get leverage on Suge Knight, and Stutterbox told them that your house had guns in it, nigga. Greg Caden said he told him that it was like Fort Knox. And when they ran up in your house, they found guns, plural, nigga. And we gonna get to that. Just so you know, he trying to say it was just one, and that was Kim gun, but there was more. Let's go. Here it go. Of course, here it go, nigga. I'm not Ant Jefe. Nigga, when I takes blood, nigga, I lock and shake, nigga. Lock and shake like a pit, nigga. This nigga's talking about, and here it comes. Let's play that again, bro. That's crazy. Of course it's supposed to come, nigga.
Find my baby mama's pistol, right? Then here comes the thing. Well, you an ex-con, what you doing around a pistol? I own 5 houses in that area, another 8 in Atlanta, and 4, I had 4 units at the time in Oklahoma, right? I haven't been a resident of California since 2002. You can't put me living in a house that I don't live in. That's where my baby mama, my kids is at. If that's the case, it's another house in my name around the corner and another one on the east side.
It's registered to her, the gun?
Yeah, that's her gun.
Yeah.
That's her shit, registered to her shit.
Yeah.
And when you read Greg Caden's book, he has nothing but praise for Porky. He talks about how respectable Porky was, how much they admired his entrepreneurship, like he was some model citizen. But one day, I'm going to show y'all the flip side. I'm going to show how much Porky disrespects Kading, the same guy who couldn't stop singing his praises. And based on WAC's own words, Greg Kading and his team are incompetent. Think about it. According to Porky, they raided a house that wasn't even his, found a gun that supposedly wasn't his either, took files, only to learn everything was under a corporation, didn't know where he really lived, had no clue he had properties in other states. It was so bad. Porky said he filed a lawsuit, and that's what made Greg Kading say he owes him a favor. When it came to Porky, apparently they got everything wrong. And yet Greg Kading still called him a great entrepreneur for it. Yeah, I'm gonna unpack all of that, piece by piece.
Fucking a 6-shot something, right?
Can I give you a 5-minute limit and then meet me in the other room?
I've been waiting on you.
Pause.
I've been waiting on you.
I just had to make one phone call. I just came in here.
No, they told me you was filming and editing.
No.
Remo told me to come back here.
No, I had to call.
Said,
I was calling Gumby.
Who? Call from who? Yeah, Gumby's a trip. He's a trip.
Oh, man. I can't wait to have him on.
Gumby's a trip. Yeah, Gumby did a lot of years, got a big settlement. But if you're ready to roll, we can roll.
All right, we could do a smooth exit, though. I'll leave, and then you leave a couple minutes later.
Hey, so, random, this has nothing to do with no street shit or nothing.
Skip the rental counter with Turo. Rent just about any car, just about anywhere.
Hey, man, shout out my boy, scandalous, the Damu Kiwe Conversation, ETE. That was the content. Scandalous did it again. You already know what it is, nigga. So, just so y'all know, what are the requirements to be a resident in a home in California? To be a resident of California. He trying to argue jurisdiction, nigga, on the internet. Nigga, this nigga making a legal jurisdiction argue. All right, so here it go right here. Let's get to this. So he said, oh, it was my wife's gun. So let's go like this. So now we know why Kim was cuffed up, right? WACK spinning. Oh, let me blow it up so y'all can see it with your own eye. So in California, if a spouse's gun, so Kim's gun is found in the home where an ex-felon resides, the ex-felon could potentially face arrest and charges for felon in possession of a firearm, even if the gun legally belongs to the spouse. This is due to California laws regarding firearm possession by individuals with prior felony convictions. Elaboration: California law, specifically Penal Code 298-00, prohibits certain individuals, including convicted felons, from owning, possessing, purchasing, or having control over firearms, even if the gun is legally owned by the spouse. If the ex-felon has access to or control over the firearm, they can be charged with constructive possession. This means that even if the gun is locked in a safe, the ex-felon can still be charged if they have the means to access it. If he knew what the safe is, well, let me ask y'all this. Is it the man the protector of the home? If this gun is for the safety of their home, who would be called on to protect should a burglar arise or jump up in the house? The man. So you want us to believe that WACK didn't know the code if it was found in the case? Because for all we know, it could have been on the dresser drawer, right? So constructive possession of the pistol. Pay attention. Access. The key factor is whether the ex-felon has access to or control over the firearm, regardless of ownership. Spouse's responsibility. While the spouse is the legal owner, They may also face legal repercussions if they knowingly allow the ex-felon to have access to the firearm. So Kim is under the pressure of going to jail. This is why they handcuffed her when they find the guns. So let's get up out of here real quick, right? So let's talk about residency. Well, I'm a resident of Oklahoma. You see the weak ass shit he pull over. See this where the pushback come back. This where you really just go viral on the nigga. And this was your chance, and you fumbled the ball. What a loser, man! You supposed to, man, off with that nigga head, nigga. What are the requirements to California resident? You generally need to demonstrate both the physical presence. He said he owned 5 houses. That's a physical presence. And intent to stay in the state. For them to get the warrants for your truck registered in the state of California for your home, they had to have evidence that you lived at this home. What the fuck do you mean? Your name is on the motherfucking deed. Hey, where the homie at? We could get into that real quick just to show. This nigga name is on the deed. On that Lancaster or the Palmdale, Lancaster, which was raided. If your name on the deed, nigga, I don't give a fuck what state your motherfucking ID is, nigga. That's present. So look, obtaining a California driver license and vehicle registration. So none of your cars were registered in California, if applicable, and potentially demonstrating financial independence, especially for students under 24. You should also aim to spend more than 9 months in California and relinquish ties to your previous state of residence. Physical presence. You must be physically present in California for at least 366 days immediately prior to the residence determination date, e.g. the first day of instruction for students. So it ain't just that he's established residency in California. The Calabasas home is in his name. The game home that was just taken, that shit's up for foreclosure, right? So when he said I was a resident of Oklahoma for 20 years, who gives a fuck, nigga? You can have dual residency. People from New York buy homes and retire in Florida all the time and got residency in both. Nigga, the house is in your name. Guns is found in your motherfucking house. Your wife is kidnapped. Your ex-wife is kidnapped. Handcuffed. So let's go to this real quick, man. I gotta go get that. I'm gonna go get that residency thing. Y'all check this out real quick. Hit that like button, man. We cooking tonight, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my boy, Street Certified News, man. We got yes.
What's going on? I'm Larry Hoover Jr. and I'm rocking with Street Certified News.
Oh, it is your boy Kiss, man. Shout out to Street Certified News. What's cool, hit him, Mr. Oh, yeah, y'all already know what it is, man. I'm rocking with Street Certified News. We got behind the scenes, man. We're gonna tie this bitch up.
What up, it's your boy Bum J. We rocking with Street Certified News.
Man, Street Certified News, man. Shout out Big Bo. Shout out Walker.
Street Certified, man.
Yo. It's your boy Marcel Guavo, man. Street Certified News. And we back with another one. This our first video, probably in like a couple weeks. We got some more videos that we've been working on, more long form stuff. some big cases that I think are very important. Like I said, man, we really want to start looking into these corrupt cops, these corrupt law enforcement organizations. There's a lot of judicial stuff, man. We're gonna be looking into that. So, man, y'all just stay tuned, man. We got a lot of new videos coming up. But we did want to kind of make another video speaking directly about the dude WACK100, man. There was some information that, you know, we didn't put it in the first video, not because we didn't think it was real or anything like that. We just wanted to focus on the extremely important, unbiased facts to the case. Man, hey, we appreciate you guys' support, man. Again, this is one of those stories where, like, we're not that big of a channel, bro, but our story impacted the culture, man. We're gonna let you know, man, we did end up speaking to the dude WACK100. He had a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot not to say. So we're gonna let y'all know about that later in the video, man. Hey, before we get started, man, the last video, man, we asked y'all to smack that like button and run it up to 1,000 likes. We had never asked for 1,000 likes ever in a video, and y'all like doubled that. I think the WACK100 video is like at 2,300, 2,200 likes or something right now. So, man, from our heart, man, we greatly appreciate that. For this video, hey, let's go up one more, man. Let's go 1,100 likes, man. So before we get started, man, let's drop 1,100 likes on this video, man. Stop. Smack that like button, man. If you rocking with Street Certified News, man, it will be greatly appreciated. It helps us in the algorithm, and it helps spread, you know what I'm saying, this real reputable street news that we be dropping, y'all. In the past couple weeks, man, we ain't really see no stories that was even really worth talking about. That's another reason why, you know what I'm saying, we ain't really dropped a whole bunch of videos and nothing like that. And to be honest, man, I was waiting to hear back from your boy Wack, man, because when I tell you, man, we spoke with Wack, we had a pretty decent discussion, and I was kind of waiting to hear back from bro before I dropped this video. I told him I'm dropping another video. This week's video, we're going to speak about WACK100 responding to these allegations that he is CS2 back in the 2008 Mainstreet Mafia Crips kidnapping case. On January 28th, 2024, a documentary style video will hit World Star Hip Hop's YouTube channel and website, reportedly containing information proving West Coast manager and podcaster WACK100 was a confidential informant in a case dating back to 2008. Doing further research on the case, after the original video had already amassed over 2 million views on the World Star platform, we at Street Certified News were going to find additional information.
Hey, all you niggas that be YouTubers that be trying to validate yourself through numbers, hit your Brandon 2.2 million. This one, 3 million. I'm just saying, y'all niggas playing catch up, my nigga. I was hitting the internet doing numbers with music and real content. We are not the same. Damn, it went back. My bad.
Videos that we've been working on, more long form stuff.
Get in this chat.
Some big cases that I think are very important. Like I said, man, we really want to start looking into these corrupt cops, these corrupt law enforcement organizations. There's a lot of judicial stuff, man. We're gonna be looking into that. So, man, y'all just stay tuned, man. We got a lot of new videos coming up. But we did want to kind of make another video speaking directly about the dude WACK100, man. There was some information that, you know, we didn't put it in the first video, not because we didn't think it was real or anything like that. We just wanted to focus on the extremely important, unbiased facts to the case. Man, hey, we appreciate you guys' support, man. Again, this is one of those stories where, like, we're not that big of a channel, bro, but our story impacted the culture, man. We're gonna let you know, man, we did end up speaking to the dude WACK100. He had a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot not to say. So we're gonna let y'all know about that later in the video, man. Hey, before we get started, man, the last video, man, we asked y'all to smack that like button and run it up to 1,000 likes. We had never asked for 1,000 likes ever in a video, and y'all like doubled that. I think the WACK100 video is like at 2,300, 2,200 likes or something right now. So, man, from our heart, man, we greatly appreciate that. For this video, hey, let's go up one more, man. Let's go 1,100 likes, man. So before we get started, man, let's drop 1,100 likes on this video, man. Stop. smack that like button, man. If you rocking with Street Certified News, man, it would be greatly appreciated. It helps us in the algorithm and it helps spread, you know what I'm saying, this real reputable street news that we be dropping y'all. In the past couple weeks, man, we ain't really see no stories that was even really worth talking about. That's another reason why, you know what I'm saying, we ain't really dropped a whole bunch of videos and nothing like that. And to be honest, man, I was waiting to hear back from your boy WACK, man, because when I tell you, man, we spoke with WACK, we had a pretty decent discussion. And I was kind of waiting to hear back from bro before I dropped this video. I told him I'm dropping another video. This week's video, we're going to speak about WACK100 responding to these allegations that he is CS2 back in the 2008 Mainstreet Mafia Crips kidnapping case. On January 28th, 2024, a documentary style video will hit World Star Hip Hop's YouTube channel and website, reportedly containing information proving West Coast manager and podcaster WACK100 was a confidential informant in a case dating back to 2008. Doing further research on the case, after the original video had already amassed over 2 million views on the World Star platform, we at Street Certified News were going to find additional information, arrest reports, and statements by the men involved, seemingly confirming the allegations.
I was this close to quitting affiliate marketing. I tried everything, Facebook ads, ClickBank, TikTok, and nothing worked.
We always want to make it clear, man, we did not break this story, man. Shout out to the big homie Spider Loc, man, Street Certified News, big OG out in Cali, man. He put us in tune with the dude Deuce M's from, I believe it's Kiwe and Damu Conversations. I might have that wrong, but they got a podcast on Clubhouse. And this dude, Deuce M's, man, CEO of Active Chucks, he directed and released a video that hit World Star back in January, the end of January 2024. And like I said, man, it amassed over 2 million views. These is dudes from out in Cali, man, where they really broke down the beginning stages of confirming that WACK100 is back, CS2 in the Mainstreet Mafia Crips case. So we always just want to let y'all know, man. You know what I mean? This is really our second video covering it, but it all dates back to the dude Deuce M's and the dude Spider Loc, man, big homie Spider Loc, man. It all dates back to them and the work that they've been doing for months. Like I said, they've interviewed people that were involved in the case, and they've even gotten, you know what I'm saying, the dude WACK100 to speak on it a few times. Either way, man, based off of that video, which eventually got took down. So that's another thing too, man. WACK100 did get that video took down. When we spoke with him, he informed us that, you know, he hit World Star with a $5 million cease and desist. If they did not remove the video, then he was planning on suing them for like $5 million, man. So that's why World Star removed it. Deuce M's was not, he was not notified about that. So he's pretty upset with World Star because, you know, I don't know if he paid his bread. I don't know what he did to get it up there, but usually that comes with its own contract. And, you know, within a few days, even after amassing over 2 million views, the video got took down. And, you know, when we spoke with Deuce M's, I know he wasn't happy about that, but he was happy that, you know, his voice was able to be heard in this situation. After releasing our own report on WACK100 being CS2 back in the Mainstreet Mafia Crip case, the response from our story was surprising. Other YouTubers and podcasters began reporting on the case. Even fellow No Jumper host Brick Baby, throwing a paperwork party on his weekly show, seemingly making fun of the fact that WACK100 had been called out. Many people from LA hit us to thank us for spreading the truth about WACK100. And while all of our supporters showing us love was great, in the following days we felt that we needed to reach directly out to WACK himself. With the response we had, with everything kind of going how it was, man, we thought it was extremely necessary to reach out to WACK himself. When we dropped the original video, we made it clear that we were not trying to jump on WACK's back. We don't hate WACK100. I don't even know WACK100. We have made videos in the past, mainly about things he said about other people and kind of injecting himself into street politics that's not really his business. But we let that be separate from how we looked at this case. And because of kind of the amount of support we got, we felt the need to reach out to WACK. So through our own contacts, you know, we spoke with WACK100 on the phone, and you know, he did not want to make like an official statement. He didn't want to do an interview. He didn't want to do anything like that. But he did state that he had nothing to do with the mafia case. And he believed that, you know, Robert Ross was the only informant on that case, which, you know, like I said, if you watch the first video, we know that's not true. Robert Ross was a witness. He was the victim in the case, but there was a confidential source 2, and I'm assuming there could have been a confidential source 1. I don't know if that would have been Robert Ross, but either way, our first video when we were speaking about WACK100 was directly about confidential source 2, which he said he wasn't that guy. Again, we know that not to be true. During the conversation, we also let WACK100 know that we would likely be making another video kind of just backing up, you know, the original video. You know, I believe the original video stands on its own. So if you just watch that, you'll know everything you need to know about the WACK100 case. This video is just more about an update about him and what he said during our conversation. Like I said, he let us be known that if we were to make another video, which we are right now, so like I said, here you go, Wack, we making a video. He could potentially send us the same paperwork that he sent World Star Hip Hop. He claims that World Star Hip Hop was his first legal victim when it comes to, you know, this news coming out, and he basically told us, hey man, you're gonna be victim number 2 if you keep making these videos about me. So although we did take some time, we checked out the, you know what I mean, we talked to some people, we figured some shit out. Here come the second video, Wack. So, you know, I guess the ball's in your court. WACK100, he did at the end of our conversation, he asked me if I wanted to come on Clubhouse and I guess talk about this in front of, you know, his friends and fans and supporters and stuff like that. That was something that we declined, but seeing as though we're making another video about Wack, man, we'll leave that up to y'all, man. Let us know in the comments, man. Do y'all think we should hit Wack up and go on Clubhouse and argue with this dude in front of all his friends? I don't really see any benefit in it other than, I guess, drama. You know, people could record the conversation and it could go up on YouTube or whatever, but that's not really what we in it for. So like I said, just presenting the case and then doing the following update to his response, to me, that's newsworthy. Going on Clubhouse and arguing with WACK100 is not really that important to me, man. To be honest, the case not even that important to me, man. To be honest, you know what I've been watching the last couple weeks? Water engines, man. Hydrolysis, turning water into hydrogen to power your vehicle, man. It just be so much more stuff that's important, you know what I'm saying, than WACK100.
Ever wonder what the Social Security tax is? In this edition of Tax Tips by TurboTax, we'll explore what it's for, how you pay it, and how much.
But either way, we'll let y'all know, man. Y'all let us know in the comments, man. Should we hop on Clubhouse and argue with this dude Wack? Also, it was another thing. Like I said, at the end of our first video, we basically laid out everything that CS2 did, including warning the Mainstreet Mafia Crips about Robert Ross being an informant. This is something that we told you guys in the first video. WACK100 admitted to during a Clubhouse interview. We asked him directly about that. Say, hey, bro, you admitted that you helped save 7 Mafia Crips from going to jail. Like, that's exactly what CS2 did. You know what I'm saying? On the wiretap, he was caught contacting Mark Stevens, contacting Liddell Rawls, and basically warning them that, hey, there's a snitch in your camp. We asked him about that. Again, this was something that he said, hey, I don't got nothing to do with that. I don't know nothing about the Mainstreet Mafia Crips. I don't know nothing about that case. Again, we know that not to be true.
What about the Stutterbox case?
What about the case?
When you freed
Okay, hold on.
You said you freed Crips.
I did. I freed 7 of them. I definitely did. Do you want me to bring one of them in the room? That was one of the 7 from his neighborhood. I'll tell him. You want me to bring him in here?
That case like a little fishy, Wack. I ain't gonna hold you.
What case a little fishy? I was never on the case.
One of the biggest pieces of information, I ain't gonna call it evidence because we is not 12, you see what I'm saying? But one of the biggest pieces of information, that we had when we made the original case or the original story about WACK100 being CS2 back was a LA County arrest. WACK100 admits that his home was raided, and they took a whole bunch of documents and paperwork and stuff like that. When they raid your house and they do that, you are arrested. Like, they're not going to raid your crib and not arrest you. You see what I'm saying? So he was temporarily arrested, detained. Whether the charges stuck or not, it seems like they didn't. But a report was generated by this LA County Sheriff raid. That report, we were able to obtain that report before we made our first video, and it was very helpful with corroborating things that came from the wiretap transcripts and also corroborating things that came directly out of WACK100's mouth, man. So like I said, WACK, bro, be safe when you out here in these streets, man. The streets is not rocking with you, man, and you going to war with a lot of people, and I don't know if it's gonna work out for you. You see what I'm saying? I hope so, though, man. We don't wish nothing bad on nobody. But yeah, man, hey, it's your boy MX Guapo, man. Street Certified News, man. We out.
That's my boy, Street Certified News, El Guapo. He got big chains and all that now, you know? That's how he got it cracking. But listen, hit that like button, share, tell a friend. Y'all ain't here with the dime. It's Deuce Sims. Let's go to so I told y'all I wanted to show y'all the deed paperwork. So he said that wasn't his house. That gun wasn't found in his house. Cash M. Jones, interspousal grant deed. This right here is WACK signature at the same address that was raided. Calabasas. Oh no, that's the different one. Boom. All right, let me go ahead and put this over here. Let's get to this content. We own it. Oh, on the poll is crazy numbers. Active in the chat's where it's at. Why WACK meet with the federal task force twice? Because he CS2 back 34%. To tell on Tanisha Swan and Suge 7%. Providing historical evidence on the Mainstreet Crips, that's 3%. All the above, 57%. Damn, 100% rat. I don't know how Ant Jefe don't see at least one of them. Let's get to the content, though. Oh, I gotta go back. Let's start it back over.
TV, man. Previously in part 1, we found out from Robert Ross, also known as Stutterbox, a Mainstreet Mafia Crip and WACK100's neighbor, that WACK100 or CS2 back got his house raided for getting caught on a wiretap on a conspiracy to commit murder.
What is it exactly you want to clear out? And I air it out, clear it out, however it got to go.
On the video, when you said something about conspiracy to murder, what actually did you hear on audio of WACK100 that the feds had, but haven't charged him for conspiring to murder?
His house got raided because he was on the wiretap with Dog. You know, he allegedly gave Dog my address, homie. If I get killed, whoever gave him my address gonna get conspiracy to murder. But if I don't get killed, they can get conspiracy to attempted murder because they shot up my Rolls Royce, put 17 holes in my Rolls Royce.
Let's play Stutterbox talking to WACK. This is what I'm trying to figure out, though, Box. Help me understand this, because me and you both know that whole case was your thing. What is Mark saying I had to do with the case, bro?
Right, listen, in the paperwork, it said you tried to call Dog, remember?
I tried to
and he
call
wouldn't take
Dog.
your call. And I sent it to you. He said he didn't talk to you. He wouldn't take your call. Dog said he was cool. He didn't want to talk to you in the paperwork.
Mark
That's what
tried
you said is going off of what
that whole Main Street shit, that was your play. I had nothing to do with it. I was a victim.
Because they said when Dog called you, his phone was hit. That's how they got on your line.
No.
And you claim that's what they say, what?
No.
As you can see by now in this first part, Stutterbox clearly implicates WACK100 into this case, not only in an interview with Deuce M's and Stats 280, but also right to WACK's face on the recorded phone call. In part 2 of this video, Let's take a look at the actual paperwork from the case, which exposes WACK100 as a confidential source in the Mainstreet Mafia Crips case.
We're going to get into the paperwork. The paperwork is a transcript of a wiretap. And once I get into this paperwork, you're going to understand that BACK was one of the names that the feds used for confidential source number 2. So BACK WACK also says CS2. BACK CS2 for those who don't understand. Code word for confidential source. But once I get into this paperwork, you're going to understand that BACK was one of the names that the feds used for confidential source number 2. So Tiny Draws told that nigga, you on paperwork, nigga. Yo, what's up, BACK? What's up, BACK? And didn't nobody understand why he was calling him BACK.
You lying. Are you dumb or something?
How young BACK?
Go ask your uncle if he didn't see my daughter.
How young BACK? Let's talk about it, little BACK.
Who's BACK? I don't know.
You know who BACK is.
I don't know.
You know exactly who BACK is, nigga.
I don't know who that nigga is.
You know exactly who BACK is. Stop playing these games, nigga.
Who that nigga is.
You know about Marky Mark. You know about Stutterbox. You know about Dale Dog BACK. Stop playing these games, nigga. Stop playing these weird ass games, nigga. Yeah, stop playing these games, nigga.
Hold on, what Stutterbox got to do with something?
Yeah, you know.
Hey, what Stutterbox?
Man, put that on Pyro. Put that on Pyro. That's gonna be another story we gonna talk about later.
What's Stutterbox got to do with something?
I'm talking about that paperwork, nigga. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You saying I'm on paperwork?
Bro, am I lying? Put that on Pyro, you not.
Wax on paperwork?
Put that on Pyro, you not.
Put that on 6-0 Wax on paperwork.
Crip, nigga, you on paperwork. Put that on Pyro, you not.
Put that on.
Man, put that on Pyro that you got on that case.
Produce it.
Put that on Pyro that you got on that case.
You know I'm the one got told on,
Put that on Pyro, we didn't make statement.
So Tiny Draws said that the nigga name was BACK and that he was on paperwork. Well, the paperwork is a transcript of a wiretap, and it's from Dildog from Mainstreet Mafia case, rest in peace. So we goes to the first page, and it has the session 18202. This is the wiretap, date and time 8/5/2008 through 9/22/38. to 9/29/39, duration for 7 minutes, 1 second. This is the feds breakdown. Dale tells Stevens that your boy Box, referring to Stutterbox, we can all agree to that, right? Went south. BACK wants Dale's phone number. BACK needs to talk to Dale. It's important. BACK WACK, right? But it also says CS2, BACK. CS2, for those who don't understand law, is code word for confidential source number 2.
At some point, you get a phone call from WACK100, Cash Jones. What did he contact you concerning?
He wanted to reach out to Dale Dog, rest in peace. I got the whole transcript, of the whole wiretap. Lawyers that was involved, they was able to get the discovery.
But when you get the discovery, was part of that the actual wiretap? Do you see your conversation with Cash Jones in them transcripts?
Paperwork, they put him as BACK. BACK. I kept asking the lawyer, like, who the fuck is? I ain't talked to no BACK. And they said, nah, that's WACK. But they put him as BACK because he a blood.
Was this BACK also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
So you get into Dale talks about Box incident and BACK wanted to talk to Dale. WACK wanted to talk to Dale Dog. Mafia talk and someone talking too much. Box with a question mark. Sound like BACK, which is WACK, has info on Stutterbox and talking about phone lines being compromised. So WACK is wanting to talk to Dale Dog, so he goes through the Mafia's talk, who we gonna use as Mafia talk for this, not to involve nobody else, right? He tell Mafia talk, look, I need to talk to Dale Dog. That nigga Stutterbox went bad. Well, WACK knows Stutterbox because that's his neighbor. In fact, that's how WACK even know Dale Dog. So the only way you would know that the wires is tapped, and the only way that you would know that Stutterbox had went bad, nigga, is if you done went and talked to them people. WACK admitted that he did go talk to them people on the 64th floor.
Raided my motherfucking crib, didn't find nothing. Cut my wife up, searching, going through everything. They ain't found nothing. When I went down to the federal building with my attorney to get my shit they took out of my office, every bitch was on that floor with FBI flak jackets on. That's the first thing I saw. I'm like, damn.
It goes into saying, Lady Birthday, bro. The game. 2 messages on Mark's phone. Mark is involved on the gang business and operations. Duke. Back is calling on another line to Mark. It says, hit me about 3 times. He want me to give you a number, so I'm calling to clear with you first before. So Del Dog was like, I'm cool on that, brother. Right? Nigga, he don't even want WACK to know his number. So the nigga Mafia, he come back and say, oh, okay, you don't want? All right, so you don't want to do no hollering, all right. He said, what's up with you though, man? Del Dog changed the subject. So the dude Mafia style say, we'll talk, man, you know, I just need to know, man, you when I talk to back, which is WACK100, I'm just gonna tell that nigga, man, oh man, well, you know, homie, you been on the phone with dude, and you know, like basically you been on the phone with Stutterbox, and you know, like, you know what? I'm saying you right, man. No telling what lies he told a nigga on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So they already own Stutterbox and WACK100. And then also this Del Dog. And then when you call the dude, you make the dude talk about certain stuff on the horn, you know that's what they got going on. He talking about Stutterbox and WACK100 got that going on. I ain't got no time for this dude. So then Mafia style say, I mean, you know that's good information. See, now I know how to, like I said, I ain't helping the WACK boy in a minute. You know what I'm saying? He called me out of the blue yesterday. Not yesterday, last
Hit that
night.
like button.
And this morning. And I just need to know how to play it cool. You know what I'm saying? Nigga probably said, man, nigga going to jail, you know? Laugh. The nigga got to laugh. So that's the first page. Hold on, we ain't finished. We got some more shit that's gonna talk about that. Or confidential source number 2, aka WACK100. Go to the next page with other leaders of the large gang organization. CS2 is able to provide limited information regarding violent assaults committed by the Mainstreet Mafia Crip, including shootings, burglaries, and murders. Confidential source 2 is unwilling to testify in court against members of Mainstreet Mafia Crip because confidential source 2 is fearful of retaliation against confidential source 2 and or confidential source 2's family. Tiny Draws called that nigga back because he already has seen this, bro. That nigga wasn't capping and he knew he could stand on that. WACK100 is confidential source number 2.
They put him as back. B-A-C-K. I kept asking the lawyer, like, I ain't talked to no back. And they said, nah, that's WACK. But they put him as back because he a blood.
They say that he provided reliable information previously. The nigga say confidential source number 2 has provided reliable historical information concerning the Mainstreet Mafia organization. However, confidential source 2 is only aware of certain aspects regarding the organization's criminal activity and narcotic distribution network. So he only know a little bit about how they move and work. Confidential source 2 has no knowledge or information regarding the methods in which narcotics are being transported to the Los Angeles area and distributed to Mainstreet Mafia Crip gang members. Additionally, confidential source 2 is unable to provide information regarding the
cooking. Y'all gotta hit that like button, share. We hanging out. Wait the fuck up.
That they are using to laundering their narcotic proceeds. Confidential source 2 is only able to identify a limited number of Mainstreet Mafia Crip gang members. Confidential source 2 is unable to provide specific information regarding the organization's extortion activities, methods of monetary collections and distribution of proceeds, because he ain't from Mainstreet. He only was dealing with the nigga Stutterbox. This nigga WACK100 been on paperwork. Confidential source number 2, aka back, aka WACK100. He was the one calling the Mainstreet trying to get in contact with Del Dog, saying that Stutterbox told him. When Wack asked for the number, he refused. He told the homie, nah, nigga, this nigga been on the phone with him, nigga. That's how I met him through that nigga. If Stutterbox, and he could be a rat and all that, that don't mean he lying about WACK100 being on a wiretap talking about conspiracy to murder. That holds the same exact time as murder, a life sentence. And if that's what you on wiretap for, and if that's what they came for you for, then how you out of jail?
Coming up in part 3, Deuce M's and Stats 280 speak exclusively with the last key remaining character in this case. And the person WACK100 directly calls on the wiretap, according to the paperwork. Money Mark Stevens. In this bombshell interview, Shaq's business manager, Mark Stevens, exposes WACK100, a.k.a. Cash Jones, the former Death Row affiliate, and Pacoima Piru Blood, as a confidential informant for the FBI, with detailed, corroborating evidence and paperwork that leaves no doubt that WACK100 is in fact confidential source number 2, or CS2 back.
All right, what we gonna do is we gonna get to this real quick. So that's me breaking down the work in the original long version, part 2 of the long version of the Hip Hop Police documentary that went viral on World Star. Let's go. We had the 3-part long. We'll get into 3 next. Well, we'll get into 3 next. Let's see. I don't know why it's not playing. Boom. Let's go there. We ain't playing that. And we go here.
You tried to call Dog, remember?
I tried to
and he
call
won't take
Dog.
your call. And I sent it to you. And he said
I talked to Dog.
But he said he didn't talk to you. He wouldn't take your call.
I think, wait. And I think Mark tried to set the 3-way up.
But they said he wouldn't talk. Yeah, and Dog said he was cool. He didn't want to talk to you in the paperwork.
But listen, you got to remember, Mark
That's what
tried
you said is going off of what Dog didn't want to talk to you.
Because
they said when Dog called you, his phone was hit. That's how they got on your line.
No.
And you
No.
That's what they say, what? Right, listen, in the paperwork, it said you tried to call Dog, remember?
I tried to
and he
call
won't take
Dog.
your call. And I sent it to you. And he said
I talked to Dog.
But he said he didn't talk to you. He wouldn't take your call.
I think, wait. And I think Mark tried to set the 3-way up.
But they said he wouldn't talk. Yeah, and
Stop
Dog
that
said he was
there.
cool. He didn't want to talk to you.
So Wack said, Mark, no. He the one that tried to set up the 3-way. That's Stutterbox telling Wack on it to his face, not knowing he being recorded by Wack. That's what Deuce Sims is going off of in the paperwork. And Mark knows. Wack say Mark knows. Well, since Mark knows, let's go ahead and hear what Mark got to say. You know what I'm saying? Let's hear what Mark got to say. You know what I'm saying? Since Wack want us to go ask Mark, hey, Yung Ant Jefe, Wack said go ask Mark. Go ask Mark. Hey, Adam 16er. Hey, you like them sweet 16s, huh? Adam double S's. That nigga Adam 16, nigga, PDF. Grand Mason, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, tell that nigga bring that paperwork. Nigga, 302 from both interviews with the police at his lawyer's office and at the FBI headquarters on a Sunday, singing the church, singing the Lord's song. That nigga was singing the song of the devil. Let's get to part 3. Ask Mark. Mark knows. So now he set the goalpost. We didn't allow him to move it.
Yo, it's Duff for the Cloud Chaser TV, man.
In part 1 of this case, we learned from Robert Ross, also known as Stutterbox, a Mainstreet Mafia Crip, and WACK100's introduction into the case, that WACK100 or CS2 Back's house got raided for getting caught on a wiretap on a conspiracy to commit murder, which he never went to prison for, according to the paperwork.
on the video when you said something about conspiracy to murder. What actually did you hear on audio of WACK100 that the feds had?
His house got raided because he was on the wiretap. He allegedly gave Dog my address, homie. If I get killed, whoever gave him my address gonna get conspiracy to murder. But if I don't get killed, they just get conspiracy to attempted murder because they shot up my Rolls Royce, put 17 holes in my Rolls Royce.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, though, Box. Help me understand this, because me and you both know that whole case was your thing. What is Mark saying I had to do with the case, bro?
Like, listen, in the paperwork, it said you tried to call Dog, remember?
I tried to
and he
call
won't take
Dog.
your call. And I sent it to you because they said when Dog called you, his phone was hit. That's how they got on your line.
No.
And you play. That's what they say, what?
By far the best move I made managing my team, got Connect Team, and don't do schedules.
I told y'all we got the content. I'm over here cooking. The least y'all can do is hit that like and share it to a friend. Let's go.
As you can see by now in this first part, Stutterbox clearly implicates WACK100 into this case, not only in an interview with Deuce M's and Stats 280, but also right to WACK's face on the recorded phone call. In part 2, we saw Deuce M's break down the paperwork with the transcript on which WACK100 or CS2 Back was caught red-handed as a confidential informant for the FBI, with detailed, corroborating evidence and paperwork that leaves no doubt that WACK100 is in fact confidential source number 2 or CS2 Back.
The paperwork is a transcript of a wiretap. And once I get into this paperwork, you're gonna understand that Back was one of the names that the feds used for confidential source number 2. So Back WACK also says CS2 Back. CS2, for those who don't understand law, is code word for confidential source. WACK100 being on a wiretap talking about conspiracy to murder. That holds the same exact time as a murder, a life sentence. And if that's what you on wiretap for, and if that's what they came for you for, then how you out of jail?
In part 3, Deuce M's and Stats 280 speak exclusively with the last key remaining character in this case, and the person WACK100 directly calls on the wiretap according to the paperwork, Money Mark Stevens. In this bombshell interview, Shaq's business manager Mark Stevens exposes WACK100 aka Cash Jones, the former Death Row affiliate and Pacoima Piru Blood, as a confidential informant for the FBI.
What's going on? I'm here.
You got Mark Stevens on, and
Okay.
hey Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you. Salute Mark Stevens. This Stats 280. Salute everybody. Salute. Yes, sir.
So you was cool with him from the beginning, even negotiated on some business as he.
Yeah, I met him. I met him with Stutterbox. I met him with the homie Stutterbox. That's how I first came to meet WACK, was through the homie Stutterbox. Right? When I met him, dude was driving trucks, seemed to be cool. Box was like, yo, this was his neighbor across the street. He seemed to be cool. When Stutterbox defected, WACK picked up the phone and was basically being the interim, the middleman, because he was telling me Stutterbox was defected, and I was like, okay, but my whole thing is, if he defected, why are you fucking with him?
Right. So he says that Stutterbox defected, and then you get some phone calls asking to speak to someone else, right?
Yeah, he called me. He called me, man. It was, man, a series of calls, 4 or 5 calls. He wanted to reach out to the homie, rest in peace, Dell Dog. And I don't give out nobody math. So I called the homie, Dell Dog. I'm like, yo, homie, you want to holler at this dude or what? Because he keep calling me. And he was like, nah, I'm good on that. I don't want to holler at dude.
So at some point, you get a phone call from WACK100, Cash Jones. And when he contact you, what did he contact you concerning?
He wanted to reach out to Dell Dog, rest in peace. And he wanted to give Dell Dog some information that he had gotten from Stutterbox, right? It's like he was getting information from Stutterbox on what his plan was and what the get down was gonna be. And he wanted to talk to the homie and talk to him. And Dog wasn't getting on the line with him. And he kept blowing me up because he wanted me to get him on the line.
Smart man. Rest in peace to Del Dog, man. So he's talking about the phones is being compromised. Is that one of the things that he told you?
Well, the homie Del Dog never trusted dude. You follow me?
Right.
So Dog didn't know was the lines compromised or was they wired up for sound or not. He just wasn't gonna chance it. You follow me?
Right.
But it was later on. It was later on after they took the case to they was taking it all away because the homie ain't had no choice. You know, he was facing a life sentence, so he had to take it all away. And with all the lawyers that was involved, they was able to get the discovery, and that's when we found out that the lines was compromised.
And as soon when you get the discovery, was part of that the actual wiretap? The whole
transcript. I got the whole transcript. The whole transcripts of the whole wiretaps.
And do you, in that paperwork, do you see your conversation with Cash Jones in them transcripts?
That was the initiating. That was the initiating when they started recording.
Right. And how did they refer to Cash Jones?
In the paperwork they put him as back. BACK. And
correct.
I kept asking the lawyer, like, who the fuck is, I ain't talked to no back. And they said, nah, that's WACK. But they put him as back because he a blood. So it's back. And I said, oh, okay.
And was this back also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Well,
so right there, WACK said, go ask Mark. Mark, no. We're talking about this transcribed wiretap. Mark Stevens just confirmed the same thing Greg Caden confirmed, the same thing Stutterbach confirmed. All of these people have confirmed that this was the nigga who claims he saved the 7 main streets, but he got nothing to do with the case. But he put Greg Caden with Money Mark. Let's go.
Well, man, I'm glad that the truth was able to come out. And it's sad.
But bigger than that, homie, right? I watched dude, man. He said some things about the big homie Shaq, that wasn't true. He said some things like he been trying to destroy the big homie Big U name. And I'm seeing and watching this, and I called the big homie U. We was talking. I said, yo, when you get into Atlanta, man, come see me. Because I had what I had for years. And when I gave it to the homie, I said, man, you read it. Because it was a big-ass textbook of shit. And the homie just sided with what was right. He said, I can't fuck with dude no more. And that was the end of that.
Until WACK started attacking, and that's when WACK started attacking him with false allegations and all of this online weird shit, right?
Correct, because the homie Big U asked me why I didn't fuck with the nigga, and I said, when you pull up, I'm gonna show you. I want you to read it. And when he read it, he was like, oh, okay, I see why you don't fuck with the nigga. I can't fuck with the nigga. And that was it.
Wait, how long was it from when you first got it that you met you in Atlanta to show him the work?
I got the paperwork from the attorneys probably in...
As an online merchant, you know that a high chargeback ratio is more than a minor setback. It's a red flag.
I want to say 12 or 13 because it was a series of, remember the incident happened in 07, 06, 07, but Box had went to prison. He called a drug case, so he went to prison, and they waited to almost the last month of the statute of limitations to go get the homies from Mainstreet. Right. So it had been about a 5-year period from the time that had happened to the time that they came and got the big homies. And then once they got...
How did you feel about you waiting that long now?
Well,
he chastised me, and I never, one of the things, bro, and it's like it's the slippery slope, as people say, right? Like on one end, WACK, the nigga, he wasn't doing no harm, right? He was just trying to move around and be the tough guy. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is, okay, that's what you want to do, cool. But then it went from that to I heard what he was saying about the big homie Shaq, and then I heard what he said about Big U, and that's when I picked up the phone. I said, hey, you, man, I want you to read something, man. And then once you read it, once you know, that's Quran. That's the Holy Quran. Once you know, you're accountable for what you know.
Southern Force.
And when he read it, he said, okay, I see why you don't fuck with dude. I can't fuck with
own one. Movers and shakers.
That was it. Let me tell you something, man. I probably haven't seen nor talked to WACK in years, And, I wish everybody success and happiness, but not on the basis of lies.
Right.
And
not on the and really indicative of your character, Mark, because you have a whole campaign publicly of a brother that's heavy in our community positively, helping get these kids graduated from school and into football and all of these other positive things. And he smutting his name through the mud just because he decided not to deal with it.
And brother, well put. Look, I call the homie Big U all the time. I call him the naked truth. And he always be like, why you call me the naked truth? I said, because WACK is the well-dressed lie.
Bitch, I'm naked right now.
It's an old parable about truth and lie when swimming. And, lie jumped out the water and put on truth clothes. So you had a well-dressed lie, but then truth got out the water and it was naked. So you got the naked truth that's trying to run down a well-dressed lie. Feel what I'm saying?
Throw a rock and hide his hand.
Right. That's a familiar tactic that he used. But we needed to get the truth where truth appears, falsehood disappears, man. And I wanted to hear that for myself, man.
Man, hey man, I appreciate you, man, and God bless. But like I said, man, it's a lot of things is just a well-dressed lie. That's all I can say.
Right. And that's what Cash Jones is. He is the well-dressed lie.
Yeah, and Big U is the naked truth. It is what it is. He always stood on the side of truth. He ain't never wavered from that. From the time I gave him that paperwork, I watched him take assault after assault because he just did the right thing. He just said, I can't fuck with you.
And I'm so glad that he ain't responded publicly to these negative lies.
I'm driving right now. Just want to holler at my folks.
You just stay
Good
high.
looking,
Don't let this man trick you up off the street or the feeling like you got to address every lie he makes up every day.
Well, and then you got to understand too, bro, it's, like I told you about throwing a rock and hiding your hand. What's the motive for throwing the rock to begin with? Like, we know the rocks is being thrown, but what's the motive? Only thing I saw the homie Big U do, put out a great documentary on hip hop. I see him, man, putting these kids through college and sending them like I'm trying to understand what's the motive, or it's a motive that we can't comprehend because we don't think on those levels. You feel me?
Hey, that's perfectly said. And I'm gonna tell you this: in all of my life, being from the community of South Central Los Angeles, only time I ever heard of a public artificial dissemination of disinformation was through COINTELPRO and J. Edgar Hoover, man. And I'm just gonna drop that jewel and let you go, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good day, man.
Likewise,
brother. All right, salam alaikum.
WACK100, who built his metaverse career by arguing about snitches and paperwork, has himself been exposed as a confidential informant for the FBI. According to paperwork and first-hand witnesses, when you look at the paperwork and talk with the individuals directly involved in this Mainstreet Mafia Crip case, it becomes abundantly clear that WACK100, the former death row affiliate, and Pacoima Piru Blood, was previously a confidential informant for the FBI.
Oh, yeah.
So, there go part 3. I'm telling right now. That nigga telling right now, nigga. We gonna go out on this last video. Scandalous Los Angeles. I'm gonna get into the chat before I started, but this was Scandalous talking about Yung Ant Jefe says WACK100 is not CS2 back. So we making progress with Yung Ant Jefe, man. He went from saying, I know he ain't CS2 back. You know what I'm saying? Till right now, he questioned him not once after Wax spent, questioned him twice. And in all due respect, he ain't supposed to be up there with him. I don't feel he's supposed to be up there, period. Just how he tried to represent himself and him being a reflection of his hood and the values thereof, right? If you're going to rep the gangsters, then you rep it right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he got to handle it. That's not Crip business. That's not A-Trade business. But when you speak on it, you know what I'm saying, and you do your due diligence, you're also putting your credibility on the line. You're also putting you're moving your reflection of how your homies move. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's probably some gangsters that ain't feeling that shit at all. I seen them in the chat. You know what I'm saying? They talking shit, talking about okay, cuz on gangsters, on moving. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely at a point where he's ignoring it, and rightfully so. It is, like I said, it really ain't his business. But when he spoke up on it, you know what I'm saying, press the issue. Not saying beat him up, but get to the facts. This is where you evolve as a journalist, or you just sell out like the rest of these niggas. Let's go.
Situation like the situation with WACK. I know WACK didn't tell on the main streets, although I covered the Deuce M's Active Chucks segment, because how it was placed together, it was good content and it didn't do no numbers. And I was really on it and wanted to listen to it like, some of this stuff was interested. But yeah, once it got to certain parts, I did know, like, hold on, WACK did what? No, I know the situation because I got friends from over there in the main streets, and as well as I was in jail when this situation was going on. But as I said, it was a good segment placed together, but it just didn't get no views, or the views I think the content should have warranted. But that part of it definitely was false information.
Wait, Ant Jefe said that the video didn't get no views. The video did 3 million on World Star Hip Hop, over another million on World Star Hip Hop YouTube, and we don't even know how many more on the other ones. Then the video he reacted to was Street Certified News. Street Certified News. Let's get to that real quick, man. Certified News. I want to see if you got one video that did more than that video. I'm talking about one. I'm finna pull your shit up since you calling out numbers and talking about what motherfuckers ain't doing, what our content ain't doing. But we do appreciate you reacting to it. Let's get the money, right? So video, and I think it was yeah, it was the CS2 back one. Let me see. We're going to get into this real quick, and then we can get back into this. Because I be liking to see whether niggas be pushing false narratives on purpose, or, okay, it was a year ago, and it did 91K. Let me show y'all real quick. And we can get back to it. You know what I'm saying? $91,330, right? This is what he reacted to. And that motherfucker did almost 100,000. What my nigga Street Certified TV said, man, I done fucked with you multiple times now, and we ain't missed yet, nigga. What you mean, nigga? 91,000. Going, what's his name? Yung Ant Jefe, and he on No Jumper. He gotta have at least one video that's over 90,000 popping it like that. He got 34,000 subs too. Damn. Oh yeah, he over there eating, huh? All right, so videos. 15,000, 23,000, 20,000, 24,000, 28,000, 35,000, 23,000, 23,000, 22,000. That nigga over there eating, nigga. Y'all, that ain't no motherfucking 90,000 I seen yet, but nigga, you don't need 90,000 when you doing dubs every video, 15s and dubs every video. But I don't know how often he goes live, but he's doing numbers, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Chunky numbers, nigga. All right. I still don't see nothing at 90 or 100 or nothing. Yeah, I don't think he got none. He got a 95. A-Trace call in on 4 Extra, just start tripping. Okay, yeah, but the thing is, he said it didn't do no numbers, or maybe he just meant it didn't do the numbers he felt that it should have done. Like he thinking that it should have been viral, like the World Star Hip Hop video I released. Maybe that's what he meant. I'm just trying to get some understanding, brother. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna do it, but hey, congratulations to the brother. That nigga over there eating on that motherfucking YouTube page, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He getting him a nice little cheat neck. All right, I'm finna talk to Booger. Check this out.
Where we expose the exposers. Today marks day 2 of us breaking down the web of lies Porky told on Bomb First just the other day. By now, many of you are well aware of the stories Porky's been spinning, and today, we're gonna see him do it all over again. So again, we'll be peeling back more layers, exposing more contradictions, and revisiting some critical details that have been overlooked or flat out twisted. We're also going to take a deeper look at what Stutterbox had to say about the informant he introduced to Ray J, codenamed CS2back. The other day, Yung Ant reacted to one of Deuce's live streams, and whatever was said clearly struck a nerve, because Porky snapped, publicly disrespecting Ant on Reggie's live. That heated moment led Ant to call the Crip cop, and shortly after, he found himself on a 3-way phone call with Porky. A phone call that was almost certainly being recorded by federal agents. These aren't just casual conversations. When you're dealing with known informants and open investigations, everything is monitored. After that call, Yung Ant went live to tell his side of the story. And at the very end, he dropped something that caught me off guard. He said he knows for a fact that Porky didn't snitch on the main streets. Let that sink in. Because if that's true, it flips the entire narrative. If Porky didn't snitch on the main streets, then he can't be CS2back. And if he's not CS2back, then that means we've been pointing fingers at the wrong person this whole time. But we all know over here, without a shadow of a doubt, that the pork belly pit poodle is indeed the one, the only CS2back.
So your Texas gun case was dismissed by an interest of justice.
So this is what you got to do, right?
Not from a bad search. Why do you lie about that is what he want to know. So go ahead.
What do you mean? Okay, but see, I think what they missing, Reg, was this. I only filed our motion. We stood on our motion. See, just because you strike a motion down, don't mean you walk away from the motion.
But I seen you spend about $30,000, $40,000 fighting this case. I remember you showed me something like that.
390.
Did you catch that? Porky has been claiming he paid $390,000 for his Texas gun case. But Reggie just called him out, saying it was actually only $30,000. To top it off, Reggie reminded him that he'd already shown him the documentation to prove it.
Going back to school felt impossible. Then I learned that VA covered tuition, supplies, and a
cooking right now.
Okay. Now, hold on. I'm about to fuck you up, Reg.
Okay.
I had 2 attorneys.
Okay.
I had my point attorney in Cali, which you know who this is, but I never told you it was, because I didn't trust Texas. So I went to my attorney in Cali, and he said, I'm a Jewish guy to Beverly Hills. They'll hang me.
They're not out there.
So what he did was found the top attorney in that area.
Okay.
My attorney here wrote everything. You know who that was, Reggie?
Who?
Jeffrey Brody.
Yeah, Brody. Yeah, I heard you talk about Brody.
You know
before.
Jeff,
Yeah.
right? Jeffrey Brody was my attorney here. So he wrote up everything and he could send it there. And then he was a top attorney in that area. So that was like our face. But I trusted it because everything he was doing was by Brody's direction. So, so the whole time all we had was one defense, illegal search procedures in the trunk.
Everything Porky is saying is for absolutely nothing. His case was dismissed in the interest of justice, not for illegal search and seizure. Period. We already spoke to the Wheeler County Court Clerk, Debbie Does Dallas McLaughlin, and she let us know exactly what dismissed in the interest of justice entails.
Which was denied.
No, he was dismissed.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about in 2011 or 2010, right?
Yes, 2011, yes.
Let's make sure we highlight what we've learned in our first 2 segments thus far. First, we found out that Porky was lying when he accused Deuce of adding the word back to the paperwork. Then we found out Porky was lying when he said there was no CS2 back section in the paperwork, and that Deuce added that to the paperwork also. After that, Porky lied again and said the paperwork said CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. That's 3 lies, Porky told us, all surrounding the same paperwork. Here we are today, and we hear Porky lying about his case being dismissed due to an illegal search and seizure. And to add insult to injury, Porky also lied when he said he spent $390,000 to beat the case.
Right? I fought that case for 6 years. Now,
I'm not sure.
A lot of these dudes who really ain't fought cases and really been in this system, if you Google the definition of Texas law, when dismissed in the interest of justice, it tells you only one person could exercise this. The judge.
The judge.
Every time Porky tells us to do something, we do it. And every time it proves him wrong. In Texas, a case involving an informant can be dismissed in the interest of justice by a judge or magistrate, either on their own motion or upon the application of the prosecutor, if they believe it serves the broader goals of justice, according to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. In a felon in possession of a firearm case in Texas, a judge could consider the interest of justice in sentencing, potentially leading to a lighter sentence or dismissal, especially if the defendant is an informant who provided valuable information.
Okay, so Reggie, although the judge struck down the first motion, it didn't stop Brody from refouling, right? Challenging their strike and steadily shoving it down their throat. So you know what the judge did? The judge ain't stupid. If you got an arrested officer, right? Let's say he got 10 arrests where people been sent to the penitentiary, right? And the judge know that what he's looking at, that if it gets to a court higher than him, it'll fuck around and be granted. Because the thing is, how did you get to the trunk?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, legal search. Yeah.
Nobody's on no parole, probation.
Yeah.
The fucking drug dog never.
Yeah, you don't smell weed or no alcohol.
And
There's no reason.
dumbass bozo. I ain't never disrespected you. But me and Box, and I talked to Box when he calls me. Box called me this morning. He said, what is Ant Jefe bozo ass talking about? Talking about you got my Rolls Royce shot up. Wack, my Rolls Royce was already shot up and gone before I even start fucking with you. But these is a lot of niggas who wasn't around. They play like they this, they play like they that. But this 2025, we talked about.
If you've been thinking about creating an online course, but you don't know where to begin, you're in the right place. I've helped over
this one 20-25 years ago when shit's going on, right? So let's get back to Texas. So you know what the judge did? He knows this nigga done sat here 6 years. He ain't ran out of money. Most of the times niggas run out of money. I'm on parole, bail where I gotta call in every Thursday. So the judge comes in and says, I'm going to dismiss this in the interest of justice, right? My file is open. If you Google Texas interest of justice, Reg, you should have our guy Google it. The guy that works with you. Google, John, Google the definition of a dismissal under Texas law interest of justice. And it's going to tell you when the judge may deem that the evidence is a little shabby or this or that, the judge can step in and say, we're just going to let the whole case go.
In a felon in possession of a firearm case in Texas, a judge could consider the interest of justice in sentencing, potentially leading to a lighter sentence or dismissal, especially if the defendant is an informant who provided valuable information.
Let's go.
Yeah, and the most important thing, y'all, is y'all gotta understand, Wack allegedly went out there because his brother had just got killed the day before. So, and the guy that allegedly did this was found now guilty. If Wack was working with him, and this is me just talking, I never said this to Wack before. If Wack was working with him like these people want to try to indicate he was doing, trust me, that nigga would have got found guilty.
Reggie knows how to put you on the hot seat and throw you a bone to avoid detection.
Well, first of all, I was going out there to pick my mother up.
Okay.
But she don't like to fly. Second of all, Ant Jefe talking about 2 California niggas on the freeway. Hey, dummy, I'm 40 miles from Oklahoma border. My license is Oklahoma.
Oh, in Oklahoma at the time.
That wasn't a red flag, stupid.
You know, when we got onto him, one of the reasons that we kind of believed Stutterbox is that Cash was facing a pretty serious gun case out of gun case out of I think it was out Texas or Oklahoma. So his brother had gotten killed. It looked like he was going back out there to kind of retaliate for the murder of his brother. I think his name was Zachary or something like that. So when we're hearing about him and we're like, shit, we can find this guy. He's got charges pending where he's got these fucking, assault rifles and he's got an Oklahoma driver's license and all this. We're like, oh, okay, maybe, this guy could be a serious player because of that. And so then when we came up empty-handed, and I don't know whatever happened to his Texas case, to be honest with you. They don't take guns so seriously out there.
Like, I don't know where you come from. You just be talking, but you sound dumb as a motherfucker. And you would never do a one-on-one like this with me because I'll make you look dumb as fuck. This nigga saying, watch this. Now, this is what's crazy. I gave up the Mainstreet to beat the Texas case.
Well, one thing we know is that some kind of way Porky mysteriously ended up moving across the street from Stutterbox, who just so happened to be a suspect in the Biggie Smalls murder. Porky's name ended up all in Stutterbox's paperwork, as Cash Jones and as C.S. Tubac. The paperwork said C.S. Tubac had given accurate and historical information regarding the Mainstreet Mafia Crips organization. All of this came after Porky caught his gun case. But Stutterbox said his work against the Mainstreets wasn't enough, and because of that, he said Porky had to give them something clean, so he had to give up Poochie from Compton, saying that Poochie killed Biggie for Marion Knight. This is the amount of work Porky was doing before he ever got next to Big U.
Now, this is where he's an idiot at. We all know, and Stutterbox can tell you, he's the one brought the case on his homies, right?
Stutterbox went in the police station at 3 a.m. in the morning and called and woke up somebody that I deal with from the house at 77th Division. So he need to stop that, all beat up.
We're going to get off Box.
Okay.
Here's the common sense shit. In order for them, if I'm working two entities, right? In order for me to get Texas dropped based upon the Mainstreets, right? That means the Mainstreets got to get convicted, right? The Mainstreets beat their case, dummy.
Yeah.
So what the fuck would I have done for the Mainstreets and the law to say, I'm going to give you this, drop this? All the Mainstreets case got dismissed.
It
so
got
I'm
dropped.
saying I gave them the Mainstreets for Texas when the Mainstreets all beat their case.
Right. I get 4 years in the face. I get Great Katie sent me to prison.
Right.
He got on the stand and sent me to prison. Because after the niggas did what they did and WACK knew about what they did, they couldn't take them to jail because they would have had to involve WACK. They would have had to involve WACK. They would have had to involve WACK.
Ever wonder what the Social Security tax is? In this edition of Tax Tips by TurboTax, we'll explore what is.
Porky keeps throwing Stutterbox's name around as if we don't remember what Box already laid out for us. Box made it clear that for Del Dog to be convicted, Greg Kading would have had to implicate Porky, which would have exposed him as an informant. The paperwork indicated that CS2 Back refused to testify due to fears for both his own life and his family's safety. Because of that, Greg Kading took the stand and revealed that Stutterbox had lied under oath when he denied ever working as an informant. This was the key to setting Del Dog and the Mainstreets free. Kading proved that Stutterbox had perjured himself, and because of that, the Mainstreets weren't convicted. Exposing Porky's role would have forced the authorities to reveal the intel he provided. Since they couldn't use Porky's intel to secure a conviction, Porky was now forced to offer Greg Kading something solid that could actually be used. According to Stutterbox, Porky then backed up Kading's theory that Poochie was the one who killed Biggie Smalls, allegedly under the orders of Marion Knight. This was the very reason they started following Porky in the first place, in hopes that he would flip on Suge.
So WACK had to give him something clean. WACK gave him Poochie from Compton.
Poochie for Fruitown, Paru.
He the one killed Poochie. No, Poochie killed Biggie.
Right.
For sure. And WACK knew the inside information. He gave it to Greg Kading. Greg Kading closed his book and made WACK feel like a hero. Greg Kading closed his book and made WACK feel like a hero.
Now it should be clear why Porky is always trying to talk about Greg Kading's book. Whenever you bring up the fact that Kading changed both his and Box's names in his movie, it doesn't take long before Porky interrupts to steer the conversation back to Kading's book. He does this all the time.
Put me in jail because don't know. Put Dog him in jail because it's no WACK under the bus.
Right.
So WACK told Greg Kading to close his book. Poochie from Paru killed Biggie. And he closed the book and made WACK like a hero.
And is that why he said,
he gonna give him a favor.
Exactly. So, shout out to Yung Ant Jefe. Shout out to Most Scandalous Los Angeles TV. On the poll, why did WACK100 meet with the federal task force twice? 38% of y'all, that's almost 40%, said because he's CS2 back. 5% say to tell on Tanisha Swan and Suge. 4% say he was provided historical evidence on the Mainstreet Crips. 53% say all of the above. He's a rat. That's 248 votes. So look, man, Thanks everybody for tapping in. It's late, nigga, at 8. So till tomorrow, it's the holidays. Everybody be safe. Don't drink and drive. Get an Uber. Make sure y'all check on y'all people, man, because motherfuckers is depressed. Motherfucking bills due. The economy's fucked up. Life is life. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people gonna be drunk. Some people, families, ain't got their peoples to be with. Check on your family, man. But until tomorrow, until after the 4th, I want y'all to enjoy your holidays. You know what I'm saying? Till then, we gone.